What up?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode
17
of Deep Seated Podcast. Shit, that's moving quick.
Getting there, man.
It's going. I'm
sorta though, but I was trying to remember like October. Was it October or September? I'd have to go back to see when we started.
I think it was October. I think.
Yeah.
No, maybe it was September. I don't know.
We'll have to go back and see.
Yeah, we'll have to go back into the archives.
But yeah, it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah, dude. Freaking.
Right, just doing like once a week, you know, like
Yeah.
fit it in the schedule, make a routine of it. Before you know it, you're like 17. Like you think of it like 17 weeks now.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, right?
Another fucking just constant reminder of the beast that is Mother Time. Fuck.
The beast. Or Father Time.
What's wrong with Mother Time?
Mother's nature, though.
Yo,
right?
Well, it's 2018, and it's the year that the women take over. Let's be progressive here, right? Mother Time.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Respect.
Fucking just like saying all the wrong things. Just being like, oh, fucking anti-winter's coming again, and they're just
anti-winter. Wait, what?
What? Wait. What?
The long pause, right?
The ones where they're just like,
yeah,
you just start saying it so much that people like don't remember what the right thing is, and they're just like start saying it in their own life.
It's like the double negative.
Oh God,
that shit. When you're like, wait, what? You have to like really sit down and think about this. You're like, does that make sense?
Wait a minute.
It didn't. Wait.
It's apostrophe, right? An apostrophe at the end of in a sentence, isn't it? It's an apostrophe. They're like, no, that's apostrophe.
Oh yeah, I was like, for a second, I was like, wait, what the fuck? I was like, does this guy mean apostrophe?
That's exactly it. The next thing, another person just drops an apostrophe.
I've never heard anyone say that.
I don't think that isn't even a thing. I just fucking, I'm the right kind of baked where fucking words are just coming out. You know, apostrophe, right?
Yeah.
The look on your face.
I was like, I legitimately like, whoa, what?
What is this?
I thought I knew you, bro.
You were taking a dab over there, right?
Yeah.
Is that what that was? No, meth. I switched.
Yeah, I'm cutting you off, bro.
That was I've heard that meth is really good for inflammation, so I switched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me know how that goes.
Yes, it's side effects, weight loss, restlessness. That's actually why I was up till 4 a.m.
Low key, eh?
Low key, just fucking become a meth. I don't think there's.
It's great, man. I'm like, I don't waste time eating. I just work or sleep. You know, like
anybody's ever low key become a meth addict.
Well,
It becomes sure. For like the first couple weeks, then it becomes pretty damn obvious.
I don't think it's like something you advertise though.
No, but I'm saying it becomes pretty obvious when like all of a sudden you just come into a place and they're like, this guy does meth. Like that's you.
I wonder at a point like
a certain aesthetic.
how far into it. It's like being pregnant, right? It's like 3 months you start showing.
Oh, you're showing.
You know, like
you're starting to show your methness.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like,
oh my God.
It's like I thought before, but it's pretty obvious now.
It's my shit's starting to show. Yeah. Maybe if I wear baggier clothing.
Start putting on makeup to cover those dark circles and scabs, right? Yeah, meth's the one where like people they trip on bugs.
Yeah,
shit,
they start just like picking through their skin to pull out bugs and shit.
Crazy.
And like just all sorts of shit. Because then like you start hearing the one where, well, I mean, if you think about Breaking Bad, that was meth, right? And the whole thing about his shit was how pure it was, right? The blue
chili pea man is my signature.
Yeah, so I was just gonna start saying is that people would, in actuality, that's one of those drugs where people would cut in the craziest shit. So these people aren't necessarily just even like getting fucked up from the meth. It's just getting fucked up from like they just smoked Ajax or some shit. Speaking of like the scene from fucking Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, like fucking I don't know if you watched that much.
I've seen it once, but
okay, well,
I'm digging deep in my memories right now.
I'll just quickly look it up too. But there's a scene in it where Chong's looking around the remnants of the party, looking for like something to smoke. Maybe I can find a roach or some shit, right? He's in the kitchen and he's like, oh man, and he knocks over a container of Ajax onto a paper plate. It spills out and he's like, oh, would you look at that? And he's just like, you know, messing around, just like, that looks pretty. It looks just like it. And he brings out a knife, starts cutting up some lines. And
I definitely don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
and he's not like,
I've seen one of them. There's a few of those movies, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Up in Smoke's definitely their biggest one. But yeah, and then fucking this girl walks in and she's just like, where have you been all my life? And pulls the straw off her shoulder because for shoulder. That's the top of your ear, Curtis. Yeah. I'm not on meth, I swear. But
apostrophe, right?
The apostrophe shoulders. So she pulls the straw off of the top of her ear and she's just fucking straight up like rails down like 4 lines of Ajax.
Jesus Christ.
And then just like has this crazy reaction and just like, that was the best shit I've ever had. And it's just like the Cheech and Chong, like old school 70s humor, right? Like, but yeah.
It's like over the top.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was funny. I thought about that the other day because do you know about the whole fucking shit that's going on right now? I know you're like, you like to stay recluse away from fucking all media and news and shit, but like with the whole Tide Pod action that's going on right now.
With the what?
The Tide Pod memes.
Tide Pod?
Okay, so you don't know.
Yeah, no.
So the whole shit right now that's been going on in the news for the past probably month or so, it's about a month now, is that there's a meme somehow that Tide Pods look like delicious, like gummy candies or whatever.
Wait, Tide Pod?
Yeah, like Tide Pods. Like, do you know what Tide Pods are? Like,
like Tide like
detergent pods.
Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking like tide pools, like ocean shit. I'm like right. Tide Pod. I was like, what the?
Yeah. So there's like
I think I heard it on maybe it was like Fighter and the Kid or something.
Right.
I mentioned something, and then people were like fucking dying and shit.
There's been like a recorded amount of deaths this year already. Yeah. And people are eating them and having to go to like the fucking the hospital and emergency and shit and like all this fucked up shit. And
okay, so why are people eating them? Like,
because there's this meme that like people think the origination of it was there's a meme that started in like I think it was like 2014 or 2016, so it was like a while ago. And then like it just
that's like ancient in
that's
like internet way. Years.
Yeah.
Hey?
But every once in a while, people just kind of like redig up certain memes and then kind of like I don't know, modernize it. And then people just started eating them, and like a bunch of people were just like,
so what was the meme then? Something about eating them?
Not even any, like just the fact that they looked delicious, like gummy candy or some shit, right? So then people would just like a bunch of people do the
like those juicy gummies where they have like a gusher
kind of thing.
Feeling.
Yeah. They're like, fuck, they just look like they're meant to be eaten kind of thing, right? And then it just like it gets so blown out of proportion with the way
about that,
and it makes them sick doing it too. But
well, dude, like what's even in that, man?
Fucking detergent, and then a little bleach action, probably like fucking
the like casing that it's in.
So then people put them in their mouth, and then like it started off.
Or are they swallowing it?
Well, it would start off with like people like chewing them, and then just doing the like letting it ooze out of their mouth, people kind of thing, right? But then people start taking it further. And then people would start actually eating and ingesting them, and then like a guy like eating them and then pouring fucking like Tide detergent to wash it down his mouth while he's eating the whole thing.
That's like what's that fucking that Shoe Nice guy?
Yeah,
Shoe Nice 23 or something.
He's 22, I think.
22.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's dead on the internet now, but he's not actually dead. But that was some sad shit,
that was like
man.
A couple years ago. I remember. I think it was Vice did a thing on him.
Mm-hmm. That was right at the peak of his sadness, where it was just like, man, this is not good.
And it was, for those people that don't know, but that was his YouTube account name, right?
Shoe Nice 22.
Yeah, whatever, and so this dude would like
just eat shit.
Yeah, he would film himself eating and like drinking, ingesting weird shit. Like he would chug like a 2-6 or something, or he would eat like a roll of toilet paper.
Or like box of crayons, and then wash it down with like a
jar of mayo, like
or some
weird shit. Yeah, and then Vice did a thing on him, kind of like a day in the life sort of thing on his backstory and stuff. How like you said, it was really sad where he was like homeless, so he was like he would hang around bars and stuff and like do like these eating and weird party tricks for money, basically. And then people were like, wasted and be like, oh my god, that's awesome, dance monkey, like do this stupid,
for real, right?
And I was like, dude, that's so sad. And then he just
because there's a weird line of that kind of entertainment, right, where there's people that do it and know that they're being ridiculous to get a rise out of people, and then there's people that are just doing it they're becoming the monkey. And that's what that situation was, where like he was just like perpetual, like his alcoholism spiraled out of fucking control. I can't even imagine how destroyed that guy's gut is, let alone, so now these people that are eating fucking Tide Pods and shit. So then people start taking it further than the eating and that what's the next from there, right? Buddy sends me one where this kid lights up his, he's like 15 or some shit, lights up his dab rig, pokes a hole in it and fucking squeezes the thing into it and takes a fucking fat dab of Tide. And then
like the powdered one or the liquid?
No, the liquid. Squirts the liquid into the fucking nail of his fucking dab rig. And then just takes a fat haul. And you're just like, what? You're going to do anything for views, aren't you?
Dude, yeah.
And then,
what the fuck is that doing to your lungs?
The next day, Buddy sends me another one where the same kid fills the dab rig with soap, then fucking heats it up, then fucking dabs soap, then like drinks the soap that he dabbed out of or some shit. And you're just like, man, this is...
What the fuck, man?
I mean, I did some dumb shit when I was a kid, but I wouldn't be eating Tide Pods. I hope
that's
not.
The shit that, like,
I hope not, I guess.
Where I've seen something similar where you get the people that like, you know, like watching Hot Ones, people eating like crazy hot food, and then there's like all the suggestive videos of people eating. Which,
by the way, we're gonna have a Hot Ones challenge.
Yeah, one day maybe.
Yeah, I fucking want to see you die, boy.
And
I'm gonna die too, but I like me some spicy food.
I like it. I like spice flavor. I don't like spice where it tastes like
so you're
metal.
By that saying, that would be the one of those ones where it would be like that quote would open the Hot Ones episode. If you were on it, it would just be like, I like spice flavor, and then it would just be like, boom.
Yeah.
The episode start. Irony.
Right? Like the Halloween laugh in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I like spice flavor. I don't like it when it tastes like you just lick like you're sucking on like a hot metal fucking like sucker, you know? It's just like magma.
Oh man, yeah, I got into that fucking. I hated it when I was younger.
Oh, I hated shit too. Yeah.
And then now I fucking.
But it's like it's all like what you grow up on too, right? Yeah. Like we had
the blandest cooking in my house. So bland.
Like we had, you know, some flavor, but definitely didn't grow up with hot sauce. Like I remember, this is like how much we didn't eat hot sauce. I remember when we were a kid and you fucked up and your mom's like, I'm gonna wash your mouth out with hot sauce. It was like it was the soap and then it was hot sauce. You would have to like Tabasco.
See, this is how bad it was in my house.
As a kid, I'm like, Tabasco was like gnarly.
Right.
What the fuck? No, like I'll never do it again. Please, no more.
Show you how bland my household was. We didn't even have hot sauce in my house. So it was
ketchup was your hot sauce?
No. This is the kind of shit where like I remember this so much when I was a kid.
But I feel like white families have like mad condiments. Dude, just not hot sauce.
Yeah, for sure. Right? Like all kinds of mayo and like
you got like 3 things of mayo.
3 different kinds of mustard.
Yeah, you got like grainy mustard, you got the French's, you got ketchup.
Here's the 90s white mom moment ever where we're out and about and like I had some chips and I gave my mom some and they were like Lay's barbecue or some shit.
So good.
And yeah, exactly.
I love barbecue.
Such a classic, right? Yeah. And then she fucking takes one, she's like, oh, that's spicy.
You're like, damn, that.
Can I get some water or milk or something?
That pepper's hot, right?
Whew. What did I put in those things? They got some kick.
Yeah.
You're just like,
yeah.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
Fucking barbecue chips.
But I mean, if you never eat spice, like that's just what happens.
For reals.
You know what I mean? So when
they just released a pack, they finally have a 1 to 10 pack that you can buy.
Hot Ones?
Yeah, where you can buy like this.
I watched an episode the other day, and it's like it's new again.
Yeah,
like they switched out.
Yeah. And
I almost bought that one. I think it's on now. Like the second sauce, maybe it's like really plain. It's Louisiana.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I saw that at Save On. And I almost bought it like before I saw it on the show because I was like kind of tired of like sriracha. But like my go-to one is like Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah,
but it's chili and lime.
Oh yeah.
You ever had that?
That one's bomb. Oh, fuck, that
dude,
one is
that
the best.
Shit is
actually,
so good.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I gotta fucking get a bottle of that shit.
And then I was like, man, I should try like just switch it up every now and again. And I was like, no, I've seen that Louisiana one before, and I was like, oh, I should try that.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like,
I'm a fucking sriracha fiend myself. Like I put that shit on
sriracha.
Everything.
Yeah.
I was just fucking watching some shit the other day on sriracha. Talk about tangents here. Fucking that So that
like one of those, like how it's made.
No, it was just a weird fucking like random facts or like information about it. It was just like a little. It was actually specifically about the fact that Hui Fong, the creator of Sriracha, he was now like a billionaire from selling
I'm sure.
Yeah, selling this fucking hot seed sauce. Hasn't, like, to the day, not trademarked the name Sriracha. So when you go fucking and buy your Sriracha.
I've only heard it called Sriracha.
Yeah, whatever. I'm white as fuck, right?
Apostrophe.
Apostrophe. Spicy ass barbecue chips apostrophe on my shoulder. But yeah, so as soon as I watched this, I was like, wait a minute. I go into my fridge and check it out because apparently
I think Supreme did that too. They didn't trademark, I don't think.
Possibly. I mean, you can't, that would be a hard one to do, but the whole point behind it is that most of the time that when you think you're buying Sriracha, you're just buying fucking some random other hot sauce. Because there's no trademarking behind the name. That he's got that much confidence in his brand. Like, he was never in it to make money. He just wanted to make fucking fresh like hot sauce, like or fresh chili sauce, I guess you call it. Yeah. That was all he ever cared about. So then
so how do you know if you're buying the real one then? Like,
you have to look for the Hui Fong. You have to look for like the Hui Fong and the chicken and then like otherwise
the
rooster. There you go. Yeah. Hey, it's male chicken. Come on now.
Hey
man,
rooster
2018.
Sauce. 2018.
Sauce, it's the fucking it's the chicken, it's the female.
Right.
Oh, come on now. But yeah, so it was just like, damn, what about knockoff cock sauce? Like, goddamn. So now we're gonna go get me the real stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's actually going to be flavor differences in it too, because like his stuff is made with fresh chilies.
Oh yeah.
Like to the point
it's
where
like buying like the Coca-Cola brand and then you got the RC Cola
Zip or some shit.
Dude, like Safeway and shit, they always have like the funniest ones. Like when I used to drink pop, I really liked fucking, it was like root beer and Dr. Pepper.
What was your root beer?
Barks.
Yeah, we talked about this one before actually. Yeah.
Barks fucking trumps anything, like whatever the
you know what though, man? It's a hot summer's day. You fucking, there's one of those mug root beers left in that Crush multi-pack that comes from fucking Costco.
Yeah.
That smooth ass root beer.
Ooh, mug's good too.
It's a good jam.
Yeah, it's sweeter though. It's closer to like the A&W root beer, where it's like it's so much sweeter.
It's like, and then like Barks has bite that has that fucking kind of snap to it.
It's dark. It's like
it's that dark brown liquid. Give me that darker brown liquid.
So good, man. I fucking like. I love root beer so much. Hold on. Side note. Let me finish this. So it was root beer and Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper was, I always thought it was super underrated. Yeah, but like Safeway and shit, they would have like Dr. Thunder or Dr. Skipper.
Dr. Skipper. That's what it was. Yeah.
They would always have the knockoffs of like
my cat licking your jacket.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
It's just like, all right. But yeah, so then they'd always have the other ones. They'd have like
the Mountain Dew ones. It would be like, fuck, what else?
I'm trying to remember what the hell they were.
The names were just so funny.
Zest and shit and like some random shit.
Mountain Zest.
Dude, man, we fucking are on point with some random tangents again today, because that leads me to another random thing I wanted to talk about. I watched a documentary last night on the war, like the 100+ year war between Coke and Pepsi.
Oh god.
And it's just been like,
watch like one company owns both of them, I swear. Because how did they get away with? I remember like early 2000s they would have the commercials and it would be like a Coke commercial.
Early 2000s, the first Pepsi commercial 90s? Ever, 1960. 60, bro. Where they fucking, it's a diner
where they would include the like, you know,
dude,
Coke
it's a fucking
Pepsi,
okay. So it started
whatever.
Talking about how
shit on them.
It was like, originally it started off as a war. Like Coca-Cola owned the scene, right? And then Pepsi started up after the fact. And like came in and like was like, yo, we're gonna start trying to compete with you. And then like, but Coke knew that they were like not a competition at all, so much that in their board meetings they didn't refer to them by name. They just called them the other company.
Pepsi?
Yeah. So fucking like Coca-Cola referring to Pepsi, right? So like the other company, or like they had another name for it too, I forget. But then it became to a point where now their rivalry is so necessary for each brand.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but what I was gonna say was that the first Pepsi ad comes out, and it's like a Coke driver
commercial or like an ad.
Yeah. Actually, I'll even look it up here. Fucking, He's sitting in a 60s diner. The commercial was in 1964, I believe. And
holy fuck.
Yeah. And so fucking there's a Coke fucking driver sitting at, where is it? Pepsi commercial. Actually, Pepsi commercial. It wasn't the first Pepsi commercial, but it was the first one that was like the first rivalry commercial.
So Pepsi started it. You think? Or
19. Where is that?
Oh shit, that little girl, eh?
Dude, so remember that many. Shit. Because then, and it started going into like their whole advertising ploys of each of the companies and shit. And it was so interesting, man. I should probably go original diner. Because they've done so many spin-offs of that commercial.
Oh, just like updated versions? The classic Coke versus Pepsi commercial night. Oh, that's 95.
95. Okay, sorry.
So 95, and it was a 60s diner.
It was a 60s diner, and it was, and I was thinking of also when Pepsi started, which I think might have been Pepsi founded in 1890. Okay, so anyway, 60s diner, Pepsi commercial.
I was way off, right?
I was way off. Fucking, I'm off with my numbers all the fucking time.
Let's see this shit. Can you throw this up?
Yes. I just need to add a fucking thing here. This might look fucked up for anybody who's watching.
What do you like better?
Oh geez.
If you had a choice, Coke, Pepsi.
I'd take Coke.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Oh, this is gonna look fucked up for the peeps. All right, there we go. Sorry, I didn't prepare the back. Jamie.
God damn it, Chin.
Chin. Okay, so there we go.
All right, let's see this.
So, which is this gonna play?
Woo! What can I get you? Blueberry pie and Pepsi.
Well, you know what? That's probably gonna have some copyrighted shit in it. So, anyways, there's the two guys sitting in the diner. They're both fucking like delivery drivers. The Coke guy's sitting there. Pepsi guy's sitting across from them. They come over and they finally shake hands. Everybody's just like, each one's got their corresponding soda in front of them, of course. Start making the family
they're showing
vibes.
each other like family photos.
Yeah. And then each Coke driver slides his a can of Coke over to the Pepsi driver. Pepsi driver just kind of coyly takes a sip. Hey, that's not bad. Slides it on back. Church on mine, man. Coke driver takes a sip.
This shit right here?
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, I'll take that back. And he goes, nah.
Oh, I remember that now.
And then it goes, oh shit. And then Buddy gets thrown out of the diner window.
Nothing else is a Pepsi? Yo.
Yeah. And so they were the first ones to do that rivalry at.
So how did they get away with that then?
Because I think they knew that they basically just made an advertisement for Coke.
I guess like any advertising, right, is good, even if it's bad, right?
And then also I guess it could even be the other fact too. Where when something's in a public space, like anything, you're allowed to film shit in a public space, right? So Coke is in a public space, right? So like
like one of those crazy like loophole like gray area things.
Yeah. Like where if you're wearing a brand in a movie, you can't get sued for it, but you can, you know what I mean? Like, I bet you there's some weird shit like that. But then mixed into the fact where I bet you they started being like, yo, this feeds the war. Like this feeds, because then Coke lovers are going to see that commercial.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, Coke's going to come back with something.
Yeah, right? Yeah, or whatever it was. Because like this, it was so crazy to watch though, how ingrained soda was in the early 50s and, well, not like just the early 1900s. Like just how huge part of people's lives it was.
Yeah,
man. Like,
people were like, whoa, liquid sugar.
Yeah. Well, because they'd have a syrup. So they'd pump the syrup in your can of or your cup of ice, and then they take it over and get carbonated water or
fill that shit up.
Yeah, the seltzer water, and then fucking stir it on up. Give you a little squirt of cherry if you want a cherry Coke. You know,
cherry Coke.
So yeah, it was really interesting to watch that. That's like
I gotta say though, the one thing that Pepsi had over Coke that I 100% back and admit, Pepsi Blue. You remember that shit?
And I was gonna say my bigger highlight is Pepsi Clear.
Pepsi Clear. See, like I sort of remember that. I don't remember like.
I just had a super nostalgic moment with it, where when we were traveling,
didn't they re-release that? Like,
they re-released that because of some Canadian YouTubers.
like recently, right?
Yeah,
like last year.
It was no, sorry.
Something?
That one wasn't because of. Sorry, I mixed up two stories. That one was because of a fucking.
I remember watching one where
Furious Pete, I think it was. It was a YouTuber who he drank an old bottle.
Like it was
of
like 10 years old.
Yeah, it was like brown and shit now, and he puked all over the place. And
I've seen that. I think maybe it was
that's not Furious Pete.
LA Beast.
LA Beast. Yes. Yeah. LA Beast here. His videos are pretty fucking funny.
You ever see that one about those Haribo fucking gummies?
Yeah. You eat like how many pounds of that or whatever?
They're specifically sugar free, right?
Right.
I think it was those ones.
And they fuck with your fucking gut.
Oh man.
But
yeah.
So that lead me into these other random things. So that YouTuber ended up putting up petition and ended up bringing back Pepsi Clear, like you said, for another limited time shit. I don't even know if it's back still.
Dude, do you remember Orbits?
Dude, I think we brought that up on one of ours, didn't we? But I don't know. Either way, Orbits was my jam. I fucking love that shit.
The people that don't remember that was like,
that's gonna be my campaign.
It was the clear.
If I make it on YouTube, that's gonna be my campaign. No, it was like a carbonated water,
and then it had these little like jelly caps, so it looked like a lava lamp. Like
I'm gonna look up the fucking commercial for that. But while I'm talking about that, there's this Canadian YouTube fucking team that does like daily shows, and they've blown up into like the top fucking like ranks of YouTube. They're called Rhett and Link, and they put out. Do you remember Canadian Springs?
Canadian Springs, like the water?
Yeah, the sparkling water.
Yeah. When
we were kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. It fucking... Or was it Canadian Springs? California Springs? Canadian Springs. I'm pretty sure it was.
The flavored ones, right? Yeah.
Like...
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure...
I'm with you on this.
Canadian...
Sounds familiar.
Springs. Or California Springs. Oh, I'm trying to remember what I'm gonna fuck it. Clearly Canadian. Is that the one? I think that's the one. I think that's what I'm actually thinking about. Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Clearly
about.
Canadian. Okay,
so that'd be that summer drink that you'd get all the time.
I remember the
shit, right?
fucking the blackberry.
Yeah. This was like the summertime
like that
jam.
picture. I remember that.
Yeah. So that was like the summertime jam. That's like delicious. That drink. Well, anyways,
Clearly
they would
Canadian, and Canadian Springs is that water company.
That's right.
That refills like the jugs for offices and shit.
That's why I was like, that does not sound right. I gotta use the Google box, make sure I'm talking about the shit as we're streaming this out into the ethos. Make sure I'm not bullshitting my way through the fucking.
Someone's gonna catch that shit.
Yeah. So, anyways, they did out a campaign, and they fucking ended up bringing back. Yeah, they brought this shit back
solely from them
talking about it on their YouTube show. Crazy, right?
Dude, imagine, hey, like the impact you have.
How
like,
nuts.
Like, whoa.
So fucking Orbits drink.
Yeah.
I love this shit. I want to see if there's commercial.
For sure. There's gotta be. Just the cool factor of it. That's what was
gravity.
That's what was so awesome about it as a kid.
Look at these drinks. There's floaty bits. Yeah, I was all about that fucking shit though, man. Like, I remember people hating them.
Yeah, I thought it was so sick.
Raspberry, citrus, blueberry, melon, strawberry,
blackcurrant berry,
pineapple, banana, cherry, coke, and nut.
Yeah.
What was the one that was my jam? I'm trying to remember which one was mine. Vanilla, orange, blackcurrant berry was awesome. Charlie Brown chocolate.
I don't know what the fuck. Charlie Brown chocolate.
I think the
pineapple, banana, cherry, coconut.
I think that was the one that I always went for. The one that had the orange floaty bits in it.
Yeah, that must be that one. I don't remember that flavor, but I remember the orange.
But for reals, we make it on this fucking this here medium. You know we're doing an Orbits campaign.
Fuck, yo.
Fucking bringing Orbits back. 2018.
Where was that shit from?
Probably
like Cali or something, eh?
Probably. Let's find out. We have the internet. Let's clearly Canadian made that.
Whoa,
no,
what?
Wait. Multimedia design. Product Orbits. Company clearly Canadian.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
So this
Location
might be possible.
Delaware?
So this might be possible.
That's so random.
Like that we literally were I just started talking about
That's
clearly Canadian,
so
and then our mic. What the shit?
Sign. That's it. That's a sign. Yo.
I'm gonna make a clip of this, and we're gonna send
Orbits
this
campaign.
Clearly Canadian. We're making a fucking Orbits campaign,
dude,
and we're bringing back Orbits because
that shit.
I want to be sipping on that shit this summer, if not next summer.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way they make that anymore.
No,
right?
no way. No fucking way.
Dude. I'm trying to even remember, like,
dude,
what the little jelly caps were like.
You could chew on them and shit.
You know
like they're just like these delicious little gelatin fucking floaty bits.
Like they were like caps though. Like it was a cap shape, wasn't it? It wasn't actually like a
they're like a ball. Yeah, they're almost like a little ball.
Dude, I think
like,
I think they were like
seed. Like
I think they were like not like a straight up like a pearl, like a bubble tea pearl. I remember them being more of like a cap.
Oh man, this is so going down. I'm telling you, man. We're gonna be sipping on some blueberry melon raspberry.
Blueberry melon. What the hell? Melon was upside down and backwards. Yeah.
Motherfucker, which one was that? What is that?
That's got to be that pineapple one.
This guy puts in a little fucking little blurb. What does this blurb say? The gallon gum works with the xanthan gum in the liquid to produce a weak gel-like lattice, or allows the balls to remain suspended. Science.
Some Bill Nye shit.
That is some fucking Bill Nye shit, except for not being a cuck. He's such
shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired on Bill Nye. You ruined yourself, Bill.
Yeah.
You're a childhood hero. Oh, so that was raspberry citrus. Oh, bomb. Okay. That's my jam. If we can even just get back, you know what? They wouldn't just bring back one flavor. They'd have to do the multiples.
Couple,
the 4 or some shit. Man.
Yeah, see they were like a cap shape.
Yeah. Little floating fucking, I mean, that makes sense too. It'd be probably pretty hard to produce perfect little gelatin balls, you know?
No.
Wouldn't it?
Maybe, they do it with
Maybe I'm not a fucking
yeah, I've seen it.
Oh yeah, you can even kind of see it on that one right there.
Yeah, it's more of the shape.
It had that like the little drop part off of it where it was dropped into something.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Science. Yeah, dude. So
Orbits.
Yeah. Orbits, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's hype as hell. I think we're gonna actually have to put up an actual proper like Indiegogo or one of those pages or some shit. I'll find out how these other people did it. I'll find the legitimate way to be like, yo, who remembers orbits?
And who is down?
Right? Because what those other things did was they basically put together a thing where it was like a pre-order. Like if we can raise X amount, then we'll bring it back. And then the money that you gave us, you get 2 cases or some shit.
Right.
Fuck yeah, I'm down. Hook me up with a couple cases of fucking orbits.
Ooh boy.
Ooh, girl. And
that
then
was like
do a future version of it now that's like a 0 calories, and then like do like an aloe version or something like that. Like
floating chunks of aloe.
Good. I love aloe. That's my jam nowadays. Man.
I used to fucking buy so many of the TNT brand ones.
Oh, okay.
It's like so full.
And just like when you're the viscosity while you're taking it's so good. You're like,
it's like pond scum. It's like, it's insane, but it's so good.
Well, I've been drinking a lot of that stuff lately because one of my big things is I'm trying to get my I've been trying to get my gut health back. So I'm taking like fucking probiotics.
You should
every
get
day.
an aloe plant. Like I have one on the coast.
Yeah.
In the kitchen.
We used to have one when I was a kid.
Because they're really we have it just like on the counter next to the stove because aloe is really good for burns, right? You know, when you get sunburn.
Yeah, that's what I'm picking at right now. Look at that. That's from a burn.
But so if you burn yourself, you just snap off a thing and just fucking.
I remember that shit so much as a kid. Or like cut yourself even or some shit. And you just like cut off a little thing.
Yeah.
You know,
just daddy that shit up.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. So then to that same shit where it's like trying to get my gut flora back. Like,
so aloe's good for that.
Aloe's amazing for that. So you drink like that's it's literally like. It feels like, I don't know, you know that kind of feeling like when you drink some Pepto-Bismol or something and you're just like
you feel like cold?
You're like, like it feels like that, but like proper. Because it's not just like this weird ass like chemical slime, just like. So it's been really good. I've been doing a lot of that, a lot of yogurt, taking those digestive enzymes, probiotics. What was the other one I am fucking
doing? Yogurt seems like a weird one though, because you're like, the probiotics, but also it's like dairy.
Right.
It's like dairy's like really not that good for you.
But you know what? Through mixing,
it's like one of those weird.
Yeah, it's one of those weird mediums.
Balances, I guess you have to figure.
It's even kind of the same thing with like fucking cheese. Like fucking cheese can be really good for you in moderation. You know what I mean? It's got lots of good proteins and stuff like that. And then if you get into the heavier cheeses, like the bacteria cultures and shit of that nature is actually good
just
in
like
it.
jumpstart your system.
Yeah.
Right?
But if you're getting like there's literally no point to buy the light fucking cheddar.
I never understood the light, low fat, like the diet shit. I'm like, just eat. Eat the normal one and go fucking for a walk.
Yeah. You know what? The funny thing is though,
like
that was a big portion of why I even got fat when I was a kid, because my household got turned into this low fat garbage.
We had so much of that shit too. Like it was like the light dressings, low fat,
which is
sour
so
cream,
bad for you. Because most dressings,
the cheese, and you're like, what? Like this isn't even like. What the fuck is this?
You try to melt it and it turns into this it turns into when you melt it turns into like a rubbery sheet. You're like, what is this?
Yeah.
There's no oils in it.
It's like that shit. There's the toys when you like throw them against the window.
yeah. The fucking sticky hands
sticky hands, yeah.
But it was just like basic dressings and stuff. Like, what is that? 3 ingredients if made properly?
Yeah. Just make your own.
Go look at the back of these like light ones, and it's fucking
this laundry list of fucking ingredients.
And then you're like, you always put it on something, and you're like, yeah, I guess
it's better than the other ranch. One.
No, my shit was I was like, I guess that tastes like it. Like
you try to convince yourself. Right?
Yeah,
the mental game.
So then you start thinking about what shit did they have to put in this to try to convince your brain. You know, it's just like, man.
Yeah, you're like,
just give me some fucking like.
You're like, what? What's the point, man? Like, why even?
Like, just like the massive tubs of margarine in everybody's fridge when you're growing up, and you're just like,
yeah, margarine and fuck. What was that one brand I used to see everywhere at people's houses? It was
Baysal or whatever.
Baysal, and then there was like Country Crock. Was that what it was?
Oh, and it was like is that yellow pale?
It was it was like a lighter kind of maybe like tan.
It was like an off-white yellow. Yeah. It was like a dirty yellow with blue, Crock. Like a blue kind of label, maybe like a little sun ray in the background or some shit.
Yeah. No, blue is Baysal.
No. I know that, but I'm talking about like I'm talking about that vintage vibes, like blue.
I feel like it was like a light brown and dark brown text.
Maybe could have been. I'm telling you, meth, right?
Yeah, right. Meth makes you colorblind.
Yeah, no, I'm color deficient apparently. Yeah. But yeah, dude, fucking, I think about so much of that shit. Just like, why don't you just eat? Well, that's where I'm at now.
The real thing, and then just exercise.
Yeah, and then just like when you cut down to the basic shit, where it's a gain, where it's like, now I'm pushing and pulling with certain things, and then being like, okay, so I'm gonna remove that, and then eat what like the opposite end of that would be, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, that makes me feel so much better. And then like you dabble in a bit of this, and you're like, oh, I can have that amongst these other things, and I feel fine. You know what I mean? Rather than just like working like eat something. Why do I feel like shit?
Yeah, like fucking KO'd.
Oh my god. So fucking, I'm mixing that with, and then even I'm trying something out. I didn't fully execute it as much this week as I would have liked to, but next week, fucking, it's go time. I'm saying this on this shit to keep me a little accountable too. I'll be documenting on my vlog, but I'm doing like they call the 5-2. Tom Papa kind of brought it up when he was on Joe Rogan. That because like so it's basically 5 days a week you're eating normally, and then 2 days a week you're essentially fasting. So you're taking in like under 500 calories or some shit
in a day. Under 500.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah. Well, I've done fucking. I'm used like I intermittent fast already, and then I'm like
but spread out. Like I'm sure it's not 5 days, and then these next 2 days it's
yeah
no
yeah
right?
So it'll be like Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
And then just basically like I'll have like fucking you can make like green juice or fucking whatever. You have a bowl of oatmeal if you're fucking
for
scrambling,
sure.
Or like a little something to settle the tummy. Have some bowl of yogurt or some shit. But yeah, so it's that, and it gets your body into that. Like, let's burn off these like leftover pizzas and fucking things that we're storing for a famine that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that was like why I've always been a huge proponent of fasting, anyways, is because like we're doing our bodies all wrong, like this entire time of just like always gorging and it's 12 o'clock, you have to eat lunch, it's fucking eat before you go to school, it's breakfast, 12 o'clock lunch, come home, have a snack, here's dinner time, have dessert. It's like no
schedule. It's like no, like just eat when you're hungry.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's like I eat like twice a day, like a meal and like a snack.
Exactly.
Really.
And that's more the point where I'm at now too, where like,
it's like, it's in like, it's that weird scheduled routine where you're like, as soon as I wake up, you're like, okay, make coffee, eat breakfast, 4 hours later, lunch, 4 hours later, you get the midday snack, and then you get dinner, and then you get a snack.
Dude, we were under the fucking impression when we were younger that like,
food.
If you didn't, like, this is what I was told, that if you didn't eat regular meals like that, that would be why I got fat. Because I'm not eating every 3-4 hours and I'm fucking up my metabolism and shit or something. And I'm like, no, how about what I get to now? I'm like,
that make sense?
I have no idea. Because that's what worked for certain people. So that's what I was trying to get at, is like, all I've learned now is like, you just have to find out what works for yourself.
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. Everyone's so different, right?
This ecosystem is like literally
straight up. Man.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, just even the classic one that
Biodome.
Like, you want to talk about like how adversely different people can be. Like, me and you are on the opposite ends of a million spectrums, but like can still see the same fucking thing, like from being people, right? It's like, oh yeah, we're just people. We're just different species of people, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, you're normal person and I'm a giraffe or some shit. Like,
giraffe.
But yeah, like I say, it's been that like having to step back from what
you've been programmed.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, let me find out what works for this bitch, this big old thing.
How's this bitch working right now?
How's this bitch thing working? So yeah, it's been interesting. Fucking just trying to fucking do that, and then just like your like 20-year ways of like being settled.
Habits,
try to just keep coming back, and you're like, hey, what the?
You just gotta slowly like implement these changes, right?
Well, the big one for me is just being conscious of the outcome. About how much better you actually feel.
And it's and I think it's like once people hit their like 20s, like mid 20s, people start like kind of just like across the board, people start thinking like, why do I feel like shit after I eat this? You're like, oh, maybe because I ate a huge bowl of pasta and had fucking ice cream with chocolate sauce for dessert is why I feel like shit.
I know I don't know if you'll be able to relate to this one, but I know a lot of other bigger people will be able to relate to this sentiment, was that, or you'll come out of like a 2 or 3 week blur when you finally have a period of a few days where you eat like well, and you're just like, oh, I feel actually conscious and like I feel well.
You don't have like this like foggy haze.
Like you just don't realize that 3 weeks of just nonsense just went by of you just going through your pace at work, and then I get a beef dip at lunch with a big can of pop, and then fries, and then I get the side thing, and then the lunch truck comes, I might get something from that,
just like sugar,
and then on the way home,
salt,
and then thing, and then the
carbs.
Huge dinner when I get home, and then snack, and then do the next day, and it's just like weeks go by till that point when you have a moment, your body has a moment off, and then you're kind of like say conscious, you're like, oh
yeah, you're like, oh, I just feel like alert, like I feel like I'm in the moment right
your
now.
Your body's
like,
not just going like, oh, fuck,
it's like, you asshole.
So like that's just my thing, where I realize just like the pinpoint of all my problems is inflammation essentially. So I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so you gotta watch your fucking sodium and sugar, man.
And the fucking carbs and the wheat. Sweet. You say sweet? No, I talk about
sweet.
Wheat. Yeah, man. So fucking that the old getting old man battle, trying to not let bacteria eat your body. That's what it is.
The good bacteria.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not let them take over, but to try to have enough bacteria in your body to survive. Don't want
like looking at the Orbit shit. That totally brings me back to that era of like the 7-Eleven like store runs. As a kid when you're like, yo, mom, can I have $5 or $10 to go to the store?
Yeah.
And like, dude, the shit you used to like that I used to eat. Like I used to eat garbage, dude. I remember buying like, like the 5-cent candies, but do you remember the penny candies?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've brought that up with people and they're like, penny candies?
Penny candies,
I'm like,
bruh.
what?
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you not remember that?
fucking penny.
Because I remember
like the gummy bears, and then like leaving like Coke bottles sometimes, and like other random shit.
Because I'm little Sour Patch dudes.
Yeah. And then the certain ones that you'd be like, why is that a penny? And then you'd like, oh, that's hard.
Yeah, you're like,
that's why it's a penny.
Yeah, and I remember like my brother being like, back when like being so young, right, and like not like you're learning about money, like how stuff, like how much something is, and then you're like, oh, but then there's tax.
Yeah,
and like trying to figure out how to calculate that, like being really young. I remember like my brother explaining to me, yeah, these penny candies, like, oh, okay, you have $2, right? You could buy 200 of those. And I was like, wait, what? I could buy 100 of something for $1? And like being a kid, being told you could have 100 of a candy for $1.
Let alone like not knowing at the time, but your subconscious brain knowing that shit's like drugs and that you like want it. You're like, dude, every time I eat that shit, I go fucking crazy. Yeah, I was like, go get 100 of those. 200.
Yeah,
like
so it was like those like penny 5-cent candies. Fuck, what else would I do? Do you remember those tubes, and they'd be like ooze, and it's just like liquid fucking corn syrup, like flavored,
and then like the
that
long
shit I used to buy,
licorice ropes,
fucking what else, like those Reese's like the balls, what were they called?
They weren't
bites. Bites, that's what they were.
Don't think they were Reese though, were they?
Yeah. They had Reese's and all the other ones, like,
because I remember there was another ones that were like, what the fuck was that? I don't know. I was never a huge candy kid, but like
there was like sugar. I was down.
You remember all that shit from when you were a kid,
chocolate cigarettes? Remember those?
Oh yeah. And then the white Popeye cigarettes.
Yeah.
Was all,
and then they had the Spider-Man ones too.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this chalky ass, like,
and then just eat it up.
Fuck, what else was the go-to?
Fuck, man. The funny thing for us was always that, like, because we were, I mean, when you're a kid, from where I live, or like my parents are right now, to 7-Eleven, like that's a far walk, right? So that was always like this crazy adventure where it would be like this hour long. On the bike? No, it'd be like we'd walk with like we'd get like
do the rounds.
Yeah, like we'd get a bunch of people together, like, you know.
That was the thing, hey?
Neighbor over
the
there.
Neighborhood, and you would just mob down to the store.
We're all walking up to get fucking Slurpees. You want to come for a walk?
Yeah,
and we're like, dude, that's okay. I guess I got 2 hours. Because that's how long it takes round trip.
Yeah, well, you're fucking young. You know what else are you fucking doing?
You got those little ass legs, and
when you would mob together, you would go like to their door, get them. Okay, you're like one more deep. Then you go to the next door. Yeah. Boom. Okay, now we're like 5 deep.
Yo, we're crew. We're ready to go. Let's go. Slurpee time. Let's go get our crack on.
I remember
Sugar Rush.
I think it was a Thrasher magazine. I saw this, and it was like these ways to like cheat and cut corners. And one was like, I specifically remember this Slurpee one, right? So they're like, okay, what you got to do? It's like, and they'd have photos, right? They'd like, get your Slurpee cup.
Yeah.
You'd look at the counter, make sure no one's looking, grab like 3 chocolate bars in your Slurpee cup, go to the Slurpee machine,
dude, always
fill it
did
up.
That shit.
And then, so it's like, yeah, then you got, you know, maybe half a Slurpee overall, and then pull them out, you got your chocolate bars.
I'll have to show you after. I still
did you ever do that?
Oh, dude, I did that shit all the time. I
never did that, but I was always like, that's a crazy idea.
I didn't do that one all the time, but I did that one a handful of times. But the one, like, I still have it. I'll show you it after the podcast. Do you remember those gigantic Slurpee cups, the big plastic mug things?
Oh,
like the super mugs that you'd buy it for like $6, but then you could get it refilled for like 80 cents or something.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they had the ones that were split down the middle.
Yeah.
Do the 2 flavors.
So they had this one that was like a WWF, when it was WWF, not WWE. So it had like Stone Cold, The Rock, Trish Stratus, and all these other people on it, and like you know, black cup with purple fucking writing all around it. And I was like, dude, I need that cup. I'm a kid. I can't afford that cup. So I like,
you fucking just,
so I just unwrapped it, filled it up. While I was kind of standing there with my keys, I like kind of like scratched out, I put a little X over The Rock's face to make it look like I don't like The Rock. Put it down.
So it looked like it was old.
So it looked like it was old.
Yo,
I'm a shitty little kid.
Holy
man.
shit, eh?
Played it on, put it on the counter so The Rock's face.
So they saw it was
facing shit, like shittily facing them. Pay the 80 cents or whatever it was, and then now it's like my change bin 20 years later.
That's fucking savage.
Dude, I was ruthless when I was a kid.
Really?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Whatever the statute of limitations. It's a statue.
Theft under 5,000, right?
No, Jerry, it's an actual statue of limitations. I love that episode. No, it's statute. No, Jerry, I'm sure it's statue. But no, I was really shitty when I was a kid. Like my parents wouldn't like buy me a lot of things. But I feel
like it was like the crew you'd roll with. They would like influence you. Like would you roll solo and just do that shit?
Dude, I would force
like just pocket shit.
I would force my friends sometimes
to do it.
To be on the lookout.
Ooh.
And dude, okay, so
I don't know about this. Just fucking do it.
I'm gonna give you like a light into my shoplifting career when I was young. I was a shoplifter, man. And I swear to God, you know what my influence was? Bart Simpson.
Oh,
bad. It's bad. That was like my influence as a kid, right? Like that's why I fucking like. And it was.
Did he steal shit a lot?
He didn't steal shit a lot, but they had that whole episode when he wanted that video game and he just fucking took it. And then they tried to show you the morals about what is wrong, and I didn't pay attention to that part. I just paid attention that he got the video game.
And you're like, I don't have to pay for stuff?
Yeah. Well, not only that, like you'd be spray painting shit on fucking, like I spray painted at our fence, like behind a tree, like one time. I was just like, grab
your own fence?
Yeah, our own fence. It's just like, what? You fucking dumbass. Like yeah, like so there was just like a random time when I went through this like shoplifting phase where it was like started off with like little shit like, oh okay, I'll fucking want that action figure.
Like food. Shit.
No, like I'm talking toys and shit. Dude, so like
how would you steal toys?
Dude, I'm
like packaged and shit.
I would fucking
big.
I was like, all right. So it started off with Tamagotchis.
Oh yeah.
Because my mom would buy me a Tamagotchi, and then so I'm like a little shitty kid. There was another shitty kid at fucking our school that like said that he stole one and like sold it to somebody for like $5 or $10 or some shit. And then part of me, like the entrepreneurial spirit, was like, yo, I want to make some money.
It's free, and then I'll flip.
Yeah, but then at the same time, maybe if I steal another one, then I'll have one. So then I started thinking of this greasy entrepreneurial spirit, like, yo, I'll steal some shit, and I sold a couple of them. So I started off with some Tamagotchi and Digimon shit. And then fucking like.
How'd you get it through without it beeping though?
No, you rip it out of the package.
Oh, just straight up, no fucks given.
Fucking put it in my bag. Yeah, no, that was the cough. And then all of a sudden, it was so bad. So
and then just like drop the package.
And then just put the package like back on the fucking wall or like kick it under the thing or whatever, right? And it was so crazy. So I started doing that.
Damn, man.
And then all of a sudden I worked my way up into like action figures. So I started stealing some figures every once in a while.
So you'd tear those out?
Tear the action figures out of the package. And it got so bad to the point.
Your parents are like, where are you getting all these toys?
Dude, well, it was right around the age, like I was like, that point I was like
14 or something?
Yeah, no, 14. Yeah, about 14. Like early teenage years, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Just being a little fucking shit-idiot, right? And then fucking...
Shit-idiot?
Yeah. That's what I said.
Shitty.
You heard me.
Right.
You never heard that one?
No.
I don't even know if I made that one, but I just say it.
Shitty.
It's pretty good.
I like that.
It's good.
It rolls off the tongue.
It rolls off the tongue well and leaves you thinking.
Yeah.
Leaves you wanting more. So I was the little shitty when I was younger. So the Tamagotchis and Digimons, that's like grade 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So like I'm like young when I started stealing. Like it was bad. So then I kind of like settled down.
Dude, that's crazy.
And then I started stealing some action figures and shit. And then it kind of died in again. And then like I remember it got really bad though. No, it was right on that same action figure point when there's just like that year where you're like don't realize how bad it got. Where all of a sudden like allegedly I go into Zellers.
Is it kleptomaniac? Is that the one that like is obsessed with stealing stuff?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, it became a big part about it, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Was like this weird. It's this adrenaline rush shit.
Oh yeah,
we're like hooked on it. Like we're all of a sudden like, yo, I got away with that. Like no way. And then all of a sudden you find out like you're hearing about other people getting busted and shit too. And then like it almost makes you do it more.
You don't think it's gonna be you.
Yeah. Because you're like, yeah, well they're not doing it right because they're dumb.
Yeah. Kleptomania. That's recurrent urge to steal, typically without regard for need or profit.
Geez, so I was a kleptomaniac shitty when I was a kid. Pulling fucking straws off my shoulder and fucking apostrophe. But so this is when I got bad. Was that like I fucking wanted
Did you get caught?
No, I didn't get caught on this somehow. I wanted this fucking remote control car.
A remote control car? Those are huge.
I know.
How the fuck?
It was the remote. So the first one was the first one.
Because those are the ones in the big boxes.
Yeah, with the plastic cellophane thing wrapped around it. Yeah. So fucking. And I always loved knives as a kid. I always had pocket knives. Like we're just like again, just being like
those,
that.
Like
that
Swiss
little,
Army, like.
No, like hunting pocket knives, like full on pocket knives. Because I spent a lot of time in like the fucking at my cabin, or like I grew up riding dirt bikes and all that shit. So it was like you have to have a fucking knife when you're out in the woods, right? But then all of a sudden I'd be the kid that bring it to school, and like I'd be bringing the fucking my knife with me everywhere. Oh yeah, fucking shit idiot.
Are you the kid carving 420 in your desk? Too?
Yes, I'd carve shit everywhere, like tagging on shit all the time, and like came up with my bud tag in fucking grade 8 or whatever when I started smoking weed, drew that everywhere, and like, but what was it?
So RC car.
So I fucking was like, damn, okay, I I had planned this shit. I came up with a plan of how I'm gonna come back and steal that. So I came back with my pocket knife.
You saw it, you're like, yo, I'm gonna come back for you.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, that thing's tight.
You're like, that's what's up.
Yeah, that's on my list. Allegedly. So I fucking come back with my fucking pocket knife in a backpack and my homie on lookout. I put him on lookout and I'm just go reach in, rip it out through the fucking zip ties, pull out the controller from the zip ties, throw it in my backpack, throw my fucking bag on, fucking waltz right out.
Holy shit, dude.
I made it always part of my prerogative to walk right past the security guard and the front counter and be like, hey, how you guys doing?
On your way in and way out?
On my way in and on my way out. Just being the friendly little kid. Just the little shit idiot. Kleptomaniac. So then all of a sudden I stole two. I stole this remote control hot rod that had these like bars on the top, so that when you'd stop it, it would do like tumbles over itself and shit. And I was like, yo,
I remember ones like that.
Yeah, that thing was super sick. And then the other one I allegedly stole was fucking this little remote control dirt bike. So it was like self-balancing dirt bike
with the dude on it.
Yeah, with the dude on it, and so you like rip that thing around and shit. And it was like, yeah,
those are always sick, but yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, it was like $100 or some shit, and it's like you're not gonna be able to get $100 when you're 14 or 15.
Fuck no.
You know, well, at least unless you're a kid nowadays, where you're wearing like fucking $1,000 shoes and shit because you're a hype beast and you're riding off your parents' fucking dime. You know.
Yeah.
I tweeted out the other day, I'm like, I don't remember the exact phrasing of it though. I was just like, hype beast be hiding their face in photos so mom doesn't find out how much of her money they spent.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned that, yeah.
So true though, just like, yo mom, fucking give me that credit card number so I can buy that new
stupid money.
I'm watching fucking video this one got the other day.
Like reviews? Like
I used to watch his fucking videos back in the day and it was like somewhat relatable. And then like I haven't watched it in a while and he's like, yo, I just got the Supreme hoodie at such a deal. It was only $800. And I'm just like,
yeah, real fucking real steal of a deal there, dude.
I barely
That's like, I don't know. I couldn't.
That shit makes me almost just like want to like start trying to cop and resell Supreme.
You're like, how do you justify like? That's so much money.
It's a lot of money.
Like,
I mean, you know what though? I had
for a hoodie
when I had my fucking zebras before they did the re-release of them. I had sold a pair of the smaller size for $1,500.
Oh shit!
And the pair in my size at the time when I was wearing them was worth about $2,000. And I was just like,
yeah, it's weird how the different sizes are different prices, right? So
because it's a rare size, right? They don't make as many of them in my big ass size, right? But so it was just like, so there was 1 month when I sold the size 7s, and I paid my mortgage with one pair of shoes.
Yeah.
What?
And why wouldn't you keep going, right?
That's so bizarre. Like, but then like getting back to that shit again when you're like 15-year-old kid walking around with a $10,000 outfit. What?
Yeah.
What?
Stunting.
Just, I guess, figure it out, right? But none of those guys is, man, like, I would have found a way to like, if that was around when we were kids, I would have found a way for sure to be a reseller, man.
Oh. Because
like my skeevy little mind would have been like, okay, so I only need to get that like that initial $150 to buy the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
once I have that, because dude, I was to the
flip
point
that, then you buy more of that, flip it for more.
Like, dude, I was to the point when CD burners first came out. I was razzling on my mom. We gotta get one. We gotta get one.
Were you like burning CDs for the homies?
Burning CDs for homies and selling them for like $5.
Yeah.
And it fucking I
buy
did
like
that.
the big fucking CD stack.
With a little fucking other thing of sleeves. Or before I actually had sleeves, I would fold them up in a piece of paper with a single piece of tape and then write what the fuck it was on the piece of paper. But yeah, so it was like you're just like, ever since I was a kid, always trying to find a way to like just make my own.
A quick buck, right?
Yeah, but to like hustler. Make my own. Yeah, for sure. It was just like, yo, I want to be able to get something, but apparently the world says that I need a tangible thing. Dude, I'm just seeing this on the fucking thing in the background here. There's a recommended video, bubble jugs.
Yeah.
What? I'm talking about gum, by the way. That's random as fuck, super tangent, but yeah, fucking it's weird how that mindset works when you're like, can't get something when you're a kid, and then like certain mindsets just like, I'm gonna find a way to get that. I wasn't through the most honest routes when I was a kid, but I've said it many times before. I'm like, I was a piece of shit when I was growing up. Definitely.
People change, right?
Yeah. But I mean, being able to, like, now that I'm older, being able to look back and stand outside from, like, where we grew up, realistically, the people we were around, like, man, we grew up around fucking savages.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking animals, dude. Like, have you seen any, like, throwback photos or anything recently from, like, people in, like that you went to school with or whatever when they were like partying in like grade 8 or some shit like that, and like there's the group of like the like cool people or whatever, and you're
Smoke
just like
pit crew,
and you're just like, wow, that's a group of something. Like that was the environment I grew up around.
Yeah. There was a lot of like, I remember
savages, man.
It's like the dudes that were like, and chicks, like smoke pit, like smoke weed, and they would steal shit. Yeah, like while you're they'd be bragging
adult.
About it.
Yeah, you're forming, like, you're like 16, 17.
Fucking
like,
cop this on the weekend. Fucking stole that shit. And they're like, yeah, I'm fucking badass.
Yeah.
And they're like stoked to tell you.
And not even just like a kid that's like wanting, like, you know, being a piece of shit. I was still being a piece of shit too. But like this is now at high school being like
16.
Yeah, and like bragging with your homies, like, oh, just like stole this fucking shirt. I went in and I put these shoes on and I walked out.
I used to work with this dude, and he's like, at the time he was like 38 maybe, and so same thing, like super good dude, but he used to tell me, he's like, man, when I was a teenager, he grew up in what town, somewhere in Alberta.
Yeah.
So it's like small town, like not much to do, especially like in the early 80s, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, shit they used to do for fun was steal shit, right?
Yeah,
so he used to tell me like, it's like, oh man, we used to go into like the bay and he's like, we would just fill bags. And he's like, you line it with tinfoil so it fucks with the readers when you walk out. And he's like, he's telling me like how they used to do shit, and he's like, they used to fill bags full of shit, dude, and just walk out.
Well, that's how I got my fucking,
like, for years.
That's how I pretty much formed my comic book collection.
Lynching the hoes? Really?
I didn't have money when I was a kid, man. Like I was like, my mom was like, I'm not even making this shit up. When we were kids, they were very smart with their money, and their money would be saved for trips and investments and things like that. And then like I have pictures of me wearing outfits that my mom sewed for me.
Crazy. Like me too, but they were like Halloween costumes.
Yeah, for sure. But like I'm talking about like during the 90s, like vibrant color jam season, mom's like sewing me fucking shorts and like made me a hat and like made me like,
dude, that's sick.
No, but it was sick. I was so stoked on the shit because I was like able to help choose colors and
neon,
like, all this shit.
I remember,
and you'd be able to buy patterns for like you know, making a fucking shirt or some shit, and you get to choose the fabrics. So it was like,
I remember those like super coiled laces where you wouldn't have to tie them. They were like, they're so coiled that they would just
my god, yes.
Like, and they were
the brightest colors, dude.
Those were sick.
90s neon shit so much, man.
That and having like those puffy windbreakers that were like, it'd be like black, like like fleece in sections, and then it would have like a different pattern, like a colored stripe, right.
There's some jam in the fucking styles back then, man. That's for damn sure.
Basically, like those designs that are going on in the background of like
lots
this
of geometric shapes.
Saved by the Bell, you know?
Yeah. Like fucking
the intro,
circle, triangle, laying over top of each other, a couple stripes, little squiggly line,
like
squiggly line, fucking like, you know. Yeah. I love that shit so much, and they were always like faux 3D, like, you know, like Oh, I love that shit. I want to bring back a design like that soon. Actually, that'd be something fun to just even draw, like
super vibrant, like black tea, like
like,
what fucking shit.
Like you always remember the signs that would say like neon, but then it would be like in neon colors on something, and you're just like, always, but there'd always be like neon yellow, neon orange, and then like neon blue was big. I fucking loved that.
Pink, green.
Fuck, man. So like
the purple.
I was talking about my comic book collection shit. Was that like we went down to my cabin, which is in Point Roberts, and they had like a big store down there that they had everything. You could walk down there. Okay, so I'm just fucking revealing all sorts of shit. It was like a marketplace. Yeah, so it's like one of the big grocery stores where you can buy hot food, regular food, booze, supplies, camping supplies, fucking toys, all in the same place. Like
Army and Navy kind of.
They're just, that's like a big that's a lot of the big grocery stores down there and stuff. It's like a superstore. You know, you can buy everything, right? So they had a big comic book magazine section, and me and my homie were just doing it for the thrill of it. It was like, how many can we get away with? Where it was on, it was like,
holy shit,
dude, it was literally like,
who are you?
Dude, I know. I look back at this shit like I was what I'm talking about. I was a piece of shit growing up. So it was like, he's like, oh, I got it. I'm like, you think that's some shit?
So you'd like one up each other?
Dude, it was like, you think that's some shit? I got 10,
and you're like, I got fucking.
Grabbed one of every comic, couple magazines that I wanted, like 10 up this sleeve, 10 up this sleeve, 10 down my socks, 10 down the other socks. Fuck it. If I'm gonna get caught, dude. I'm gonna get caught. I grabbed the rest of them up my shirt. Like,
you sound like, did you ever
walking out, hop on my bike, and like hope none of them fall out.
Dude, there was
like, it was bad.
I'm just like picturing, I saw a video that someone posted. I think it was a news, like a clip from the news in the States. And this guy like stole all this motor oil from a gas station. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh my God. See if you can find it. And they bring the guy back in, and he's like, it's just like clowns coming out of a car, dude. He just like, I'm like, it doesn't even look like he has.
Steal motor oil?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's motor oil, like gas station. Yeah, top one.
In his pants.
Dude.
Oh my God,
I was like, how does this guy have this much shit?
That's pretty much what it was when I came home.
Like, walk of shame. They bring him back in. Like, watch this shit.
Oh my God, look at him. Yeah, that was me walking out with my comic books. For real.
Check this shit.
That's me right there.
Detective in unmarked car.
Oh my God. Just like, what?
And he's like,
guy?
Yeah, not happening, bro.
Is that motor oil on your pants, or you just happy to see me?
Dude,
let's go.
How embarrassing would this be?
Oh, dude. And I think
just wait till you see this, though.
I think it was literally almost at this kind of weird point too of like the kleptomania,
and
where
this dude's like,
you're almost wishing that you got caught.
Watch.
Was that jerky? I think that's like, okay, motor oil. So he's got jerky, motor oil. Okay, so 2 quarts, 3 quarts. 4 quarts. 5. I'm gonna say he's got like what, like 12? 6.
He's on the one leg still.
7. 8. Oh no, it's gonna be more than 12. 9.
How did he, like, I want to see him put it in his pants. Like,
12. There was my guess right there. 13. Oh my God. Man, make me do this shit.
Dude,
man.
How embarrassing is that? And he's like, yo, that's it, dog.
Oh my God, dude, that's so fun. I gotta go take a piss real quick. Fucking, I'll let you fucking.
Oh my God, right?
Actually, how much longer is this clip? I won't leave it on the fucking screen though. That's so fucking ridiculous.
I want to see if Yeah, let me look up on. Wait, how do you bring it up? Because I want to see where it was.
Okay, where you just have to click this little eyeball here for it to be visible, and then shoot that up here, and then you can click and do whatever you want to do.
How do you make this smaller? Because I want to see like the written.
There you go.
Okay.
You take over. You
scroll
get
this
shit.
Yeah, let me double check on where this was. Hold up. See if they got the info here. So it says Folk County. So there's like a deputy was just chilling in the parking lot. Catches homie. Sheriff. Oh no, it was a 7-Eleven. Okay, let's see more of this. Lakeland. Pennzoil. It's Polk County. Okay. Yeah, so it was a 7-Eleven fucking gas station. Dude, that's hilarious. The shit that like people do, man. I wonder if like homie, like how Curt was saying, he saw that remote control car and he was like scoped it, planned on going back to steal it. I wonder if this guy scoped it out the day before or something, or if it was just on a whim. He's just like, yo, see it, I'm gonna take it. Is that a 7-Eleven? But yeah, I'm trying to remember where I saw it. It was maybe it was on like Instagram or something. But I couldn't believe how much that guy stole. Like,
it's so funny.
Like how is it? Like how is it just like not spilling out of his pants?
Well, again, it gets to that point when you're like, you know, that's where that chase spirals out of control, because he probably, you know, he stole a quart once, and then 3.
You think? He's just like, boom, he's gotta.
And then he's just like, you know what?
If he can outdo it.
I stole 3. Let's just go for it.
Put a 2 in front of that.
Yeah, let's fucking do 23.
Jordan year, bro.
Jeez, bae. That's a lot of fucking. That's a whole lot of motor oil.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, what's going on with this shit, eh?
Oh, I got zoomed in to read the text because I
okay.
don't have my glasses on today.
I don't have my glasses.
I'm blind ass, dude. My eyes are getting so much worse, dude.
There's a fucking old man on this couch over here, bruh.
Dude.
This is one thing. I don't know if
you don't wear glasses. You don't have contacts or anything, do you?
No. I've got pretty good eyesight actually too. And one thing I've done it's probably I'm the worst with like being, I've only been doing this for a little while. No, I've been doing this for over like a decade now. From when I used to be an audio engineer and I'd be spending 13 hours staring at a screen, my eyes would start to feel really strained.
Yeah, get really like mine get really like dry, and you're like,
yeah,
you know.
So fucking a big part about that, what I ended up hearing this theory was that you're putting like almost a cast on your eyes, because you're making your you're making your focal distance be only used to focusing a foot away, whereas your eyeballs are supposed to be used to varying fucking distances and shit all the time,
like,
right?
Fucking predators or shit coming at
what's
you,
that?
Yeah.
That smoke off in the far.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah,
you know, sure. I see something. They're coming.
Yeah, I heard that was explained on, man, that was another like podcast, I think from a couple years ago.
Back.
Yeah, and this lady was explaining how you do like these exercises.
Right.
And I remember specifically that cast.
Exactly.
Saying that. Yeah.
So fucking that was what put
But the lady was like funny because she like sleeps on the floor like with no pillows and shit.
Yeah. That lady takes everything to the craziest degree.
She's like,
so that put into thought process of like something that I kind of always subconsciously did was just like the daydreaming, staring off into the distance, finding the farthest thing that I can possibly find
to focus on.
So the whole thought process to her, okay, to explain to anybody who's listening or watching, the theory was that by putting a cast on your eyeballs, you're only getting used to a certain focal distance. You're no longer getting used to being able to focus on things really far away.
Yeah, so if you're like working an office job or whatever, you're used to just like looking at something right in front of you all the time.
And then you drive home in your car, you stare at the car in front of you.
Yeah.
You're not staring off on the horizon
so
you're supposed to be.
The ability almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your flexibility of your eyeballs focus becomes that I'm nearsighted or whatever. Isn't it the opposite? So you're farsighted, you can only see near.
Yeah, see, it always confused me. Yeah, it was like fiction and nonfiction that always fucked with me
really?
as a kid. I was like, wait, so that's not fake?
Yeah.
Fiction.
It's funny because
it always like fucked with me.
That never bugged me, and then just you saying that tripped me out for the first time ever. I was like, wait, which one's which?
Yeah.
Apostrophe.
yeah.
For reals, right?
Yeah.
So then the whole thought process is that, you know, if you're in an office job or anything of the nature where you're not even just office jobs, people should do this in general, is take eye breaks where they literally, like, you know, you'll go try to find the farthest object you can see and just focus on it, and you'll literally feel your eyes like you're almost doing like a yoga stretch,
just like the lens like adjusting.
Well, like, and that's what that dry feeling is like the stretching and like almost atrophy of your fucking muscles in your eye. So like when it's like, you know what I mean, like when you try to like all of a sudden stretch a certain way that you haven't in a long time, and you get to that oh no, it's like I can barely max
capacity.
I used to be able to, like, you know. So that was
back in my day.
Exactly, back in my day. So yeah, that was a big thought process on that one, and it actually made a huge difference. Like literally, like I would just be like, okay, well, I gotta go. Like, I mean, I'd be going out for a little fucking.
You would implement it.
Yeah, I'd be going out for fucking bong breaks and shit, anyways. So then when I'd get baked, I'd fucking just be like, all right, you got to spend 20 minutes just like staring off into the distance. And then like
I actually did it, and it helped.
Helped a lot. Really? Helped relieved a lot of my strain, and like that fucking like.
So I wonder, so like, would it improve, or it would just like
her thought process behind it was that you could reverse the shit.
Reverse it.
Like, and that's where all this fucking I mean, obviously some people are gonna have bad genes and just shitty eyeballs, but but a lot of the other ones is the degrading nature of things when we're just.
Yeah. And then once you get glasses too, then you're like dependent on them, and your eyesight's just going to get worse and worse.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
because it's like, okay, glasses, don't bother stretching it.
Yeah. It's like, it goes down.
Yeah, you have fucking contacts in right now, right?
No, I don't. It started like.
Because I know you wear glasses sometimes.
I got glasses like 4-5 years ago. Something like that, maybe.
Not very strong.
Because I noticed I was like doing this shit where you're squinting, right?
The Joe Rogan.
And we used to kind of like,
I'm not blind, and I'm just doing this shit.
I used to like kind of dog on this homie that had glasses, and when he wouldn't wear his, he would do that, you know?
Yeah.
And I like caught myself doing it for a couple months, and I started getting migraines.
Right.
And then I was like, fuck, I was like, maybe it's like strain on my eyes. So I went and got an eye exam downstairs in the mall.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you need like a low prescription, but for sure, like doing computer stuff, like if you're watching like screen stuff and like reading.
It's hard on it, man.
So I was like, oh, okay. And then just kind of like didn't really wear them too much.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, when I went last year to go get new ones, and then my prescription went up.
Oh, no shit.
And they were like, no wonder you don't wear your glasses. You're like, they're no good for you.
Yeah.
They're like, you need like stronger shit now.
Jeez.
So now I'm at the point where I probably like should be wearing them like the majority of the day. Just like, because I can't read any of the shit on the screen. Like when I go to like restaurants to order, like you look up at the screen, I can't read shit. Like I'm constantly like doing the tilt back and the squint.
Well, you're a fucking, I mean, high enough in your apartment. You get some fucking focal distance there. Start implementing some eye exercises.
Yeah. And even like, because a lot of the work I do, right? Like I'm looking close at stuff, and I'm like drawing, and I'm just like,
it's when you really start thinking about it.
Squinting so hard, I'm like to focus.
When that stuff got brought up,
even with glasses, I have glasses on, and then I do it with my glasses to like really make it clear.
When it got brought up that way and presented to me by that lady, I forget her name. I'm sorry.
That one was a couple years ago.
Yeah, dude. At least like I'm gonna say 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Maybe
I don't think that, like 2-3.
Okay,
but
regardless, amount of time, and it was just kind of like you started thinking about it. It was just like, yeah, like I do put in all my focusing power when I'm trying to do something here, but I'm no longer doing that over here anymore. Like when you're a kid, you'd always be like, whoa,
outside,
look at this thing over there. Hey, can you see that? How far can you see? And like, you know what I mean? Like, and then you just like, for like 20 minutes, you're all just sitting there like, you know, like whatever, you go to the beach and you're all staring off as far as you can see, and like,
you know, any whales out there?
Yeah, exactly, right? So you're used to you focusing on things that are all like, you know, like you're out on the field, and
then you become an adult and have a job,
and then just like everything, and then
everything's
now
in front of you,
everything is just like, jeez,
just bury your fucking face.
Oh my god, like, oh, my head hurts. Let me just turn my brightness down. Okay, I'm fine. Like, you know, like, not just like, oh,
let me zoom in.
Yeah, right. So it's an interesting thought. Like, maybe a lot of that shit just wanes and fails because we don't.
We're not fucking. We're not meant to have this. You know what I mean? We're not meant to be like.
No.
The fuck is that, right?
Yeah, for reals, dude. So I think it's up to us to like have to find a way to adapt, not just complain about it. Because I mean, that's all anything really is. It's like you can stand around and complain about something, or realize that we've, as a species, have been. That's how we got to where we were. We just adapt. We just, whenever something new comes out, we adapt. And I'm seeing that again right now with this whole shit that's going on. Facebook is about to change their entire algorithm on how the back end works, where Zuckerberg came out with this whole big press conference about it, saying that we want to get Facebook back to being about the people. And
not what, advertising or something?
Yeah. So now it's like how the last, 3-4 years have been a big like struggle for small companies and artists and stuff, because they realized that Facebook realized they could start making a shitload of money off of us. So then you'd have to pay to get your content seen and stuff. Well, now it's getting to a point where that's even going to get more pushed to the side, where it's just going to be like, oh, we want to get Facebook back to just seeing fucking like your friends' posts. You're not going to see these pages
the
posts and the yeah.
Do they have that on Facebook too?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
How it is on Instagram when you scroll, it's like the sponsored ad will be in your feed.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, sort of, but a lot of it's like a bit more off to the side and not kind of like as big as everything else.
I mean, last time I was on Facebook, dude, like 6 years ago maybe.
Yeah. That shit's, and speaking of adapting, that's one of those ones that just, that's why I bring it up though, is because we're seeing a lot of people now that are bands and artists that are complaining that like, we're finished, this is through, like putting out the plea posts of like, oh, please, like pay attention to our things, blah blah blah, and like we're gonna be through after this, and like blah blah blah. Where like what I'm trying to get to with this is that it's like that's kind of always been the way though. Like we're just, you got so comfortable within that 3-year gap of like having Facebook as an advertising tool, then now you're complaining that it's gonna change. It's like that showed up and you had to adapt.
Yeah.
Now it's changing. Just adapt again. Find out what the new shit is. Like that's literally all anything has ever been.
Yeah, and we were even saying that before, where I think I was having this conversation with you, where people are like too dependent on certain things. Like you don't like know how long something's gonna last, right? So like if you're at the point where you're like, oh, I can't live without it, it's like maybe you should.
Yeah.
And like it's really funny.
That's my wait, no, like go
on. I was talking to a friend last night, and she's a friend that had a friend, and this friend had a decent following on Instagram, and something happened where like she breached some terms or something, she was telling me, and her account got just shut down. Right. And so this chick would post like outfits and stuff, right?
Okay, yeah. So I can kind of see where this is going.
And so this chick would post like the outfit like breakdowns,
outfit grids and shit like that.
And then I guess I don't know, something happened with her account and it got shut down, and the chick's just like wrecked.
Yeah, because
like she was so like on her phone all the time, right, with Instagram and just everything in general.
Yeah.
And she was saying how even like she's like, man, we would go out, and she would be like, oh, if you give me a discount on this, like I'll post it on my feed, right? Like, and just like her whole world revolved around her Instagram account,
right?
And like, where like people, it's like people think they're like above other people, right?
Yeah.
And then
Not by your actual like creations and output. It's like by like the
you're just so absorbed in it. Like that's your world, literally. And she was explaining it to me, and then she's like,
that's
it got deleted. And so the chick's like,
well, not kleptomania, but something similar to those mental defects.
Just wrecked after losing it, right? And I was like, I could imagine like if you're that obsessed, right? But I was like, you know what? There's no one better for that to happen to than her. Like.
And your world comes crashing down.
Yeah, if you're that like dependent on it, you shouldn't have it.
Yeah, and that's you know what I mean. Like that is the prime smack in the face of time to adapt. Like time to find out something new because shit is ever changing, right?
Like
and
people's
you never
accounts get hacked.
Yeah,
like people lose accounts, right? So
people lose interest in shit. MySpace makes the wrong move. Napster. Everybody jumps ship. Napster, fucking Kazaa, you know all that shit, right? So
Kazaa, what was that one? That was the music one?
Yeah, that's another music one, yeah. Just like Napster. And it was Kazaa Lite because you'd always get the free version.
Do you remember LimeWire?
Of course. LimeWire was further down the line.
That was like the only one I had.
That was when it was actually like torrenting.
Yeah.
No, like Napster and Kazaa was before, like was just like downloading music, MP3s.
Yeah.
Maybe WAV files if you wanted to wait like a couple weeks. For one song to download. Pictures.
For one song.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding you, man. For a wave.
Like pictures, and they would just like.
Oh man, that was always like, I think I brought it up on here before, but that was like always the joke about watching porn when you first got the internet in like the 90s. It wasn't videos, it was pictures. You would load pictures because it'd be a thing, and it'd be like you know, fucking thirsty girl takes it at night. They weren't at those kind of titles yet. It was the 90s. It was like girl passionately makes love to her boyfriend or some shit, right? So anyways, you get to it.
Amateur.
Yeah, it was like beautiful brunette. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll click on that. So then it's like, jigga okay, you can see the hair. Jigga oh, she's got nice eyes. Shigga okay, she's pretty cute. Shigga nice chin.
Nice chin.
Shigga oh, collarbone, please.
Collarbone.
Oh God! Okay, good. She has nice boobs. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Shigga it. Oh my God! Eventually, after 20 minutes of loading, there's a prank back in the day that people would put chicks with dicks. So it would be like this beautiful chick.
Rick rolled type shit.
And so some guy would be like almost finished, and then it would get to the bottom, and they'd be like, I don't know what's happening. Just my life is destroyed.
It's like
Rick Roll starts playing.
That's hilarious. What was that movie? Euro Trip, you ever see that one?
Yeah.
When that dude's like when they eat the pot brownies and they're not actually pot brownies, he's like just they think it is, so they start like
placebo
tripping, right? And he's like man, I watched a gay porno once.
Yeah.
He's like, the girls never came. Right? The girls never came. And he's like just wrecked. It's like just traumatized him for life. He's just like so ashamed to admit it.
Oh man, that's just so fucking funny. The fucking the early internet days when you're like
the dial-up.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Picks up the phone, and you're like, oh, it cuts you off when you're downloading shit.
I really want to go on the internet. Like, Mom, how long are you gonna be on the phone? I'm talking to my sister. No, my mom doesn't have a sister.
Talking to Auntie Brenda.
Yeah. Right? But so fucking, I'm gonna be a couple hours, and you're just like, what?
You're like, yo,
yeah. Fucking, I need to use the internet, even though it's the slowest thing in the entire world. My 36K modem.
Well, you have one computer and a family.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and you like have to take turns and shit.
The only reason,
you've been on forever, man. Like, let me fucking get on there.
Yeah. Speaking about how cheap we were when we grew up, it was like this crazy surprise that I ended up being one of the first families with a computer, let alone the first family with the internet. The only reason, like in my school, and the reason that happened was, you know, those home hospital lottery things. Like every year, you like parents would. I don't know if your parents ever did this shit.
Home hospital lottery?
Yeah, there's this home hospital lottery where it was like you'd enter in, it'd be like $100, and it was by, I don't remember who the fuck ran it, but I just remember it being called the home hospital lottery.
I don't know what that is.
Don't know. Okay, so anyways, it was like this big lottery thing where like you could win cars and houses and fucking all sorts of random shit, right?
Okay.
And I always just remember my parents being like, because like it was like, oh, $100 is a big deal to enter in, to spend $100 gambling on something, like it's a big deal. And every year they would enter into it, and then one year my grandpa won. Like my grandpa would enter into it too. He won a fucking bike. Whoa, that's pretty fucking crazy.
A bicycle?
Yeah, a bicycle.
Okay.
You know, I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. Grandpa won like a $400 bike. Like it's that's amazing. Yeah. And then I think it was like, I don't know if that was before or after. I'm pretty sure it was after. No, that was before. But my parents ended up fucking winning a car. Yeah.
Whoa,
dude.
what?
Yeah, they won a fucking car. It was like a Ford Taurus or some shit.
Holy shit.
And then you had the option, if you didn't want
really?
the car, to take the cash value of the car. My parents both had vehicles, and then they were just like, we don't really want a Ford Taurus. So
then you have to pay for insurance. And
yeah.
So, like,
so they took the 14 grand. So like 14 grand.
Shit.
Yeah. So my parents were just like in 94 or some shit. So like,
damn.
Coming from like when like, mom's sewing some of my clothing and I'm like wearing hand-me-down shoes and shit, all of a sudden they're like,
all of a sudden you're like, Jay's on my feet.
Jay's on my feet. I wish. I definitely got some new shoes. I'm sure I got some new shoes and clothes and shit. But then it was like, yo, let's buy some practical like toy, like frivolous items that we wouldn't regularly buy. And I think that, so we bought
Did they buy a bunch of dumb shit or what?
No, not dumb shit. Like it was like a surround sound system for the
your movie room downstairs.
Yeah, for the movie room downstairs. I think that was when we got our first surround sound system. I think we might have got a new TV too. So it was like whole theater system.
And that was probably back then, it was probably like $5,000.
Oh yeah. I think that was like $5,000 at least, probably. Yeah, because that shit got so expensive. Dude, man.
It's back then.
Yeah. And it was like the Dolby Digital, like Panasonic, fucking nice quality. Like we still have it. It's that it was good. You know, they don't use that now, but like, I mean, we just like still have the receiver and stuff. So yeah, they got that, and then we were the first family to get one of the brand new computers at the time, the Pentium 100.
Pentium.
So before there was Pentium 1s,
bring this shit
Pentium
up. The
2s. Like, so that was always the big thing, was they'd be like, yo, I got a Pentium 2 or I got a Pentium 3.
So it's like
the
Pentium
100 was, you know what 100 stood for? 100 megahertz.
Okay.
So there's 1,000 megahertz to make up, what is it, like 1 gigahertz or whatever? And so fucking there's only 100 megahertz for the entire processor. And like, let me see here, Pentium 100.
What is it now? Like, is that shit still around?
So 93 was when the computer just came out. So yeah, we were like right on that shit. And like, you were able to play fucking like the newest games at the time, like Doom 2 and Quake and shit.
Like Wolfenstein.
Dude, the startup on this shit.
Duke Nukem.
Back when computers used to start up like this, with a DOS screen and the C drive fucking thing entered the fucking right state.
Like floppy disks.
Yeah, but look at the fucking gaming on this shit, man. It was epic.
This is Quake?
Yeah, this is Quake. What it said?
Yeah.
So we were on like Windows 93 or Windows 94,
dude,
I believe it was.
Like the fucking...
And so yeah, we got that. We got hooked up on the internet with it right at the same time. When
94?
Yeah. When we were on fucking dial-up.
Damn.
Yeah, so we were one of the first families with internet on our Pentium 100. And like, just like random shit like that. What was the other things like that we bought? I think we ended up buying like some stuff for the cabin and just a bunch of other shit. But that was the big purchase. Like that computer, I think was $3,500 or some shit.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, dude. And it had, what was it? I remember it was like 14 megabytes of RAM.
Oh my god.
Like,
that's disgusting.
Dude, like what? Yeah, like our phones are like, well, not only that, like that nowadays, the benchmark for that, they were saying it's like 11 to 12 times more powerful than the computer systems they use to land a rocket on the moon. So that would be a million times more powerful than a fucking Pentium 100. You know, and like $3,500 at the time with its large ass CRT monitor and like, dude, just crazy shit.
This is sick. This totally reminds me of playing fucking Duke Nukem and Wolfenstein.
So fucking, yeah, that getting that computer, that opened up that I'll give that. I mean, I'm a tech savvy person. Like as far as like I know my computer like can figure shit out. As far as like if it involves a computer, I'll figure it out. And that's why, because at like a younger age, I was like just
to it.
Fucking led onto a computer. Like, here you go. This is the new shit. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and not in like the way now where kids are fucking born into it. It was just like I came from the analog world.
Dude. Yeah.
Of like,
pen
and paper.
you see like little kids like just playing with iPhones, or they're like iPads and they're like opening the internet, searching stuff, like watching movies, and they're like,
dude,
and you're like,
so savvy,
dude, you're like 2.
Yeah.
And it's just like
the amount of information that they're going to be able to take in, like those kids are going to advance so fast. Their advancement within age 3 to 5 is going to be like so rampant compared to what we had.
They're going to know like what I know now when they're like 12.
Yeah, right?
And you're like, that's not fair. Right? Like, what?
Yeah, it's so bizarre, man, that like, I mean, it comes back to like,
grind, boy.
I'm being a kid thinking about looking off in the distance for 20, 30 minutes and shit. And they're just like on an iPad intaking all the information that they fucking possibly need. Like, different world, man. And just in our lifetime, 30 years, whatever.
And then like, imagine fucking how many more years from now? I was watching the H3 podcast.
Love it.
And
it's one of my favorite podcasts.
I think it was one with Post Malone. You see that? And they're showing like the clips of the robots and shit, like jumping on those blocks and then like backflipping off.
Yeah.
And then the one where they showed the robot, it was the same robot, and there's a box on the ground, so it's like it knows to bend down and pick up the box. And there's a guy with the hockey stick, and he moves the box, right? So the robot adjusts, and he keeps moving it away.
Guy's
and
such
then
an asshole.
He flips it around, and he shoves the robot. And then he does it again, and
this is the end.
Knocks him over.
This is what starts the singularity.
Yeah, they're like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, that robot's gonna remember you. Like, you doing your that face. Shit. Yeah.
Like, think of like the Terminator screen. Zoom in on that guy's face. Target.
Yeah, exactly, right. Predator style, just swipe over. Like,
man, this is fucking perfect.
And then you're like, and the ones where it had the all the cables hooked up, and it looked like a person, and it's like running.
It's beyond.
And you're like,
now,
that's
man.
so
no more
scary.
Cables now.
I was talking with a guy at work about it. And I was like, mixing that with like AI. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but like where it is now, but imagine 20 years from now, mixing those two.
Well,
like that's
when fucking
scary,
Elon Musk actually tweets out that we should start policing and paying attention, like to let alone actually fear AI, you might want to do it.
Yeah. Did you see the
fucking flamethrower?
Yeah,
dude, that shit was hype.
Yeah.
So fucking Elon Musk, if anyone doesn't know, he just released a fucking flamethrower that you can purchase.
Boring Company.
Yeah, because the Boring Company is the one that I brought up when he was boring those tunnels underneath the fucking world. So they did a hat release first, where if they could get 20,000 pre-sales, they're gonna do it. Now they're up to like 50,000 sold.
That's crazy.
50,000 hats, man. Well done, dude. So now they're up to they're selling these flamethrowers. But
it looks like
it's a modified airsoft gun apparently.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say it looks like a futuristic like laser tag gun or something, It looks like a toy.
So somebody apparently found they did a bit of kit bashing to actually make it. So they found somebody in like a Reddit forum or something found the airsoft gun that they used for the base of it, and then they took it apart, modified it.
Have you seen the clip of him when he turns it on and
then he starts chasing at the camera with it?
Yeah, laughing with it. Yeah.
Oh man. But what I was gonna say was like, speaking of seeing like a then to now kind of thing, like where we've come in like a 30-40 year gap, I just recently found like probably
with technology,
just in general,
just everything.
As people, technology, things that we enjoy like as entertainment. But I just recently found my new favorite like movie. I'll say documentary because it wouldn't be my favorite movie. My favorite documentary, and it's a film from 1974, and it's called fucking Formula One Racers, aka The Quick and the Dead, and it's about Formula One racers in the 70s, and it's fucking insane.
Back when like the safety was like nowhere near.
Like when you're like, is my car gonna fall apart? Like your car doesn't even like, you know what I mean? Like it was just like literally Formula so raw. One? Yeah, Formula One racing, where these guys are going 175 miles per hour top speed in these cars in the 70s with no safety whatsoever. And that's why it was called The Quick and the Dead, because it was just a gamble that like pretty much every race somebody would die. And so I'm going to find the trailer.
Where'd you watch it?
It was on Prime Video. Like
that's the Amazon.
Yeah,
one?
they're Amazon streaming or whatever. So it's all free on there. And so speaking of, I brought Up in Smoke earlier.
Right.
There's a cop in that movie who's like the comedic cop character. It's like Sergeant Stadenko. Well, he's like
Stadenko.
Yeah, that was his name in it, right? What? Sergeant Stadenko, codename Hard Hat. Codename Hard Hat. He was like an iconic voice, and he is like the narrator of the documentary.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, to the day, some of my favorite cinematography I've ever seen, and it was shot in 1974. And it's fucking about, and it just goes into this.
You just watched it?
I just watched it. I watched it again last night, actually, because it was so good. Formula One drivers.
70 what?
74.
74 it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just watch the fucking trailer here.
When did this come out? Like recently?
The remaster just recently came out.
The remaster.
Because the film's from 1974.
Of 90 laps, 2 hours racing without making one mistake.
You got to hear this quote.
But I think I am to be able.
This is one of the drivers.
Yeah.
For me, because he's the only man, maybe in the world, to be able to do a whole Grand Prix of 90 laps, 2 hours racing without making one mistake.
But then you say.
But I think I am on one lap. I am now as fast as Jackie.
What does that
as fast as what?
Jackie Stewart. He's saying that Jackie Stewart could go 99 laps of this race without making one mistake, and that's why he's the champion.
Concentration.
And that he could maybe
match it
on one lap be as fast as Jackie. And he just basically goes into talking about the amount of discipline that is needed and required
racing
to actually be to make no mistakes.
But then you say.
But I think I am on one lap. I am now as fast as Jackie.
What does that mean? What do you have to do to beat him?
Not to make any mistakes.
How does that come?
Experience, concentration, and also being able to set your car so well that it will be the easiest car to drive in the race. And Jackie is so good in analyzing the car. He's reading the car so well that when the flag drops, he has always a very easy car to drive. He doesn't have to fight with his car because the car is not going around the corner very well, so he has to fight. Never.
And Jackie Stewart was like the champ
managed to
in the
fix
fucking
his car
70s.
such a way that it will be very easy to drive.
The Nürburgring's a very special
get into
place.
it.
You know, in the Nürburgring you've got
that guy that was just talking. He was talking about how he was like the mad dog in like Formula 2 and Formula 3, like just racing as fast as he possibly could, and just being reckless and shit.
Does it show the like the cars themselves? And
no, it goes into the mechanics of them, and then it goes into what they wear. It goes into the whole psychology of the drivers and shit like that.
They look super brittle, man.
Dude, it's insane.
It's like, you know, those like crazy speedboats when they catch air and they get torn apart.
Dude, they have races where they do actually, there would be jumps and they'd actually get air and shit, and like the whole fucking thing. So then it goes into that, it goes into the fanfare behind it, where like mobs of hundreds of thousands of people would like illegally trying to find their way into these compounds to go watch these F1 races and shit, and that it almost became a competition in itself to how you got to the Grand Prix. Like the big one was in Monaco, so they would be like, they almost called it like the Grand Prix of getting there. So people would like show up in boats, people would like parachute fans. People would parachute in. What? People would fucking climb their way in over the borders. Like people would just find their way in.
Do they not allow people to watch it?
No, people would buy tickets, but a lot of people didn't have money to buy tickets, right?
Were they how expensive are they? Like, stupid?
That's not. It's racing, right? It was tickets to any form of racing have always been, because it was originally
like a couple hundred.
It catered towards kind of like the bougie upper class, but then once they realized that there was like this crazy fanfare within the average Joe, like they kind of almost allowed a lot of the sneaking in kind of bullshit, like because at the same time it just like created such madness for it, and it was like. But just there's so much in that movie that it was crazy. Like I wouldn't even know where to start fucking talking about it. Like I could literally just talk about the mechanics of the vehicles for like fucking hours. But yeah, so it goes into the whole thing where it starts off and it breaks it off very like documentary style, like where it wants to, like, I said that in like the weirdest fanatical with documentary, but like
pronunciation
apostrophe. So, but yeah, and then it starts going to the whole psyche of the drivers, the whole fucking like back end of it, and then like how there's like competitions behind like each driver, even though like they're in the same field, they'll become friends for a short period of time because they're the only person that's ever experienced what that other person's experience. Right. But yet they
Such
still
a
hate
niche thing.
Yeah, yet they still hate the guy because he's competition, and then like, and then they show the countless people that fucking die. Like they're like literally just like there'll be a guy ripping along, all of a sudden he takes the corner too fast, car spins out, he's fine. Cars just smash into him, burning balls of flames and shit, and like Yikes. No safety fucking shit whatsoever. Like the movie opening scene
like a crazy collision,
car crashes, guy's fine, Marshall runs over to help get him out. You're like,
oh, he gets
you're
smoked?
Like, oh, he just clears it. You're like, oh, okay. And then it starts kind of going slow-mo. It's like the 70s slow-mo.
Oh,
like,
God. Frame by frame.
And this other guy's running. And then he just gets clipped. And you watch his body stretch out like a fucking Stretch Armstrong. Because he just got hit so fast that when he starts spinning, his like midsection stretched out like a Stretch Armstrong doll.
Fast.
Because they're going like 150, 175 mile per hour. And it hits you about here. And he spins and stretches out, and then you just see his like stretched out mutilated corpse kind of fly into the distance, the background, and it's like the Quick and the Dead. You're like, oh shit, we're starting some shit.
Yeah, you're like, I'm awake now.
Yeah, and then it kind of comes into like the soft scene of like Sergeant Sudeiko walks
dead
in.
As fuck.
No, dead as fuck. And then they show other ones where it would be like,
oh my God,
where a guy crashes and they try to get the guy out, but then like the shit just bursts into flames. And then like
with homie in there,
and then the guy has
and
to
they're filming it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. And then but then Buddy's trying to help him and he can't, so he has to like run away and just watch his buddy burn and scream. And it's just like, and they talk about all this shit where like that same guy, Jimmy Seville, was it Seville?
The guy that was talking.
The guy was just talking. He was talking about when he was younger. He was doing this race. He spun out doing 200 miles per hour. Or like near 200 miles per hour, because I think they topped out at like 180, and spin, but survived, didn't hit a wall, didn't crash, didn't wreck, and he just kept driving. So
and he spun out
and was just like, whew, okay, I'll just, and then stopped, I'm pretty sure, and then kept driving. Comes back to the pits and he's just like, oh, haha. He said he started laughing about it. That I spun at 200 miles per hour. That
was fun.
No big deal. It was fun. The next day when he's in a race, he's trailing behind a guy who's fucking spins out, hits a wall right in front of him and just dies right in fucking front of him. And he's just like, no, it was this in practice the same day. Oh, so he said he just like, I couldn't.
The same day?
Yeah, the same day that he spun. So then he goes, I could not sleep the entire night before the race. And then had to figure out how to concentrate. Like fucking just crazy madman shit. And then like you'd see other stories where like there was one where there was a guy that like his fucking car gets hit, car bursts into flames, and the guy's alive in it. And the other guy runs across,
so fucked,
reaches in, undoes his buddy's seatbelt while he's on fire, and is trying to pull him out, but his legs are pinned in the fucking thing. And as he's pulling him out, petrol fuel had sprayed out onto his fire suit, so all of a sudden he catches on fire while he's trying to pull out his buddy, and you see him pull back and he's like, fuck, no, he's like, fuck, and all of a sudden he's now too on fire that he has to run away. So he runs away, putting himself out, and then these other like guys come in, put out the fire, and then the fire starts going again. And then they actually got the guy out, but the guy sitting there
survived.
Yeah, the guy survived. But the guy who was trying to help his homie, he's the one who's telling him all about it. And he's like sitting there like having his smoke, and he's just like the hardest dude ever. And he's just like, yeah, the car was on fire. I reached in to get him, and then I was on fire too. Well, I don't know why I'm giving him a French accent, but he was an American dude. And he's just so cold. Oh God. And it was so weird where he was just like, that guy, when he was describing his life, he's like, yeah, I had won all the dirt bike championships.
Just
I won
like
all
monotone?
these championships. I won all these. I won that. I became the best at this. I had done everything that I could do, and so I figured I'd try F1. It's just like, Jesus Christ, guy. So monotone. And then like talking about this guy that like burns in front of him, and he's just like, I caught fire. I had to go away and put myself out.
So he got himself.
Yeah, he got himself put out, and then he came back to help get the guy out. I'm just like, damn, that's some shit.
How did he do it then? Does it show? Like, does he get sprayed with a fire extinguisher? Or does he roll out?
Quite probably. As he's walking away, he's pulling off his gloves, which were the main part that was on fire and shit. So I think he was able to like get off his gloves and probably get his boots out or some shit. And then he comes back to fucking help his buddy out. And so it just reignited my spark for racing, because when I was younger, my mom grew up around racing when she was a kid, and so that led me into becoming like huge into racing. We would go to the Indy 500 every year.
Really?
Every year. Because we had it in Vancouver.
Yeah, I didn't know that you guys would go.
Yeah, we went every single year, and it was fucking the best. We'd go into the hairpin corners, because that was like, no, because if you were on a straightaway or something like that, you only get that 1 or 2 seconds when they fly by.
Yeah.
But if you're at the end of a hairpin, they come flying at you at 150, 200, have to fucking slam on the brake, downshift 3+ times, come to almost a dead stop to get around the hairpin corner, and then fucking hammer up 3-4 gears out of the fucking corner, get back up to 150 by the time you can't see them again.
Yeah.
And so that corner, accident central.
Oh, fuck,
so that
right?
was my mom knew that it was where we would get the best spots, like, because so we would go.
Yeah, but aren't you worried they're like gonna collide and just flip over you?
They've got like really, really, really good guardrail systems nowadays. Okay. Yeah, like if you want to see that shit intensely, like I could show you some NASCAR crashes. That shit's crazy. There was one
up in the stands and shit, even sometimes.
Well, there was one last year that was like the epitome of their guardrail system, but I'll get into that on another tangent. So anyways, we're going to the Indian stuff and we're watching all that shit, and it was just like, I was just so like, the sound of Indy cars is fucking insane. And
I feel like you would feel it like in your chest, like the rumble, right? And
F1 cars is even more insane than that. And I've never got to see F1 in person, and unfortunately, now I'll never get to see it at what it was, because they tamed down the cars. They went through a whole new regulation over like it was a couple years ago. They changed how F1 cars worked. They went from being V8s to like turbo V6s, and aren't as loud anymore, and aren't like made a bunch of restrictions. They're more powerful, but they just went through different routes to get there, rather than just being this crazy raw fucking naturally aspirated fucking machine that it was. Just that's why they were so thunderously loud. Dude, insane. Yeah. So that was why the Indy is no longer in Vancouver, because they got too many noise complaints because of the bougie fucking it's too loud for 1 week. It brings too much culture to our city. Like, seriously, like, fuck.
Did we complain about that?
Yeah, people. Well, no, I'm like, people complain that like people came to our fucking city and shit. And like, that's what it was doing. It was bringing culture, and like, we had the Indy in our fucking, going through our city. The tunnels that go underneath fucking GM or Rogers Arena. Yeah. That tunnel was part of science. yeah. But like, you know what I'm saying though? Yeah, like that tunnel, that was part of the racetrack. Yeah. So they would shut down actual parts of our road and turn it into the fucking track.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Dude, it was so sick. So like,
how long did it last for? Like, it was
a couple 3 years. Days. Oh no, it was like, I remember going for probably
like, I wonder how many, like, consecutive
8 years at least.
8? Oh.
You know, like, I'll find out. More than that.
It's more than I thought.
Yeah, it was here for a long time. And then coincidentally, when we went down to Australia for our house exchange.
God damn it.
I'm up, just keep hammering it. Yeah. Coincidentally, when we went down there for work exchange, the Indy 500 was in Australia for like, in that period we were there. So that was when it had just left in Vancouver, like, was no longer going to be coming back. So then we got to go watch it there, and which was funny.
It's a weird coincidence.
I know. I was like, that's kind of
odd. Out of everywhere, Australia.
I have a funny ass memory from that one, that we were just like,
can you say rememory?
Did I say rememory? Rememberies.
That's a good one. Rememory
was that I don't remember what I was going to look up, but
fuck. I don't think you said.
Whatever. It's
Formula, maybe the guardrails.
No. Whatever. Just not so important. But yeah, there's these guys on like stunt bikes warming up the crowd and shit. You know, doing their wheelies and like doing endos and shit, doing burnout donuts and shit. Guy hops up on his handlebars and is doing burnouts while he's sitting on his handlebars doing donuts and shit.
And then
bike grips up. Wham! Heads him into a wall as he's hanging over the handlebars and just shatters his fucking legs.
You saw that live?
Like fucking 20 feet in front of me, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm watching this shit and I'm kind of like looking at these guys going like, yeah, that looks like, I love dirt bikes and motorcycles and stuff, but I'm sitting here going, that's kind of dumb.
Holy shit.
Like it's not even that really enter.
Oh my god. And did he just let out the most blood curdling
it was all using a helmet and shit, right? So it's like a super loud event. So you didn't really hear much, but oh man, I remember that shit being intense. So
holy shit.
Watching The Quick and Dead, this is like a fucking super long tangent on this one, but whatever, fuck it. Watching The Quick and Dead led me back into being intrigued by a lot of this racing stuff. Not that I'm not ever in like car mode. I watch car shows every fucking day, but like just led me more back into that intense style of racing. So then I'm kind of went
like the root of it.
Yeah, I went, what's F1 like nowadays? So here's where I get to from fucking past to future shit.
Yeah.
Just showed you a little bit of. Let me just find another quick little clip from the Quick and the Dead, just of how insane the driving was. So they got like their fucking this is a scene from it. They got their basic ass fire suits and shit, like super basic fire suits, and they'd wear like two of them, just double up.
Good year.
And fucking this shit was just madness, dude.
Just chaos, eh?
And the first lap is always when there's about to be a fucking accident, because everybody's just, look how bunched up all these guys are, right? Everybody is trying to find their own fucking, like, look at the shots on some of these things where they'd have like the two cameras.
Look at the people are just right there.
Yeah. No guardrails, fucking so insane, dude. And it was just like everything was just fucking animalistic, super fucking raw, like from the way that I don't know what songs in here, it's probably gonna get us copyright struck. Everything's gonna get us copyright struck. So anyways, it went from this crazy ass shit to all of a sudden I found out about something called Formula E.
Formula E racing?
Yeah, I was like, Formula E? What the fuck's Formula E? Is that what I think
you
it
said
is?
earlier Formula 1 and like 3 or something? Is it like...
Yeah, there's different ranks within this stuff. So it's kind of like within like
So
like
what is that?
The easiest way to make this make sense to people, you know, when you go into Mario Kart,
yeah,
and there's the different GPs of racing. There's a 500cc, 100cc, and 150cc,
okay.
And they're the different rankings of the level of cars that you're driving.
That's what that is.
That's what that is. Essentially.
Okay.
They're just different levels of leagues. So you almost have to go through
levels to it. Eh?
Yeah. You have to start off in Formula 3. You have to spend an X amount of time, almost a couple years, before you can qualify into 2, and then 2 into 1. Because you're the best.
It's that
so
primo
fucking
shit.
All of a sudden, I found out about this stuff because of this ad. I don't really need to see the fucking
Formula E.
So now they have these pure electric Formula racing cars that was sponsored by this massive company, and now all these other corporations and shit have hopped in, and this shit's just nuts, dude. Like, you got to hear these things. We live in
those
the
look so
future,
sick.
dude.
These are the electric ones.
We live in the future, bro. Look at this shit.
Frantic stuff in the early stages. This is when you maybe see that the drag car
squeaky wheel.
Yeah.
Quite there. The one lap pace is there, but the efficiency is not, and he's going to struggle.
Sound like spaceships.
Yeah. So this is like literally, I can see this shit like in a futuristic depiction of the future. People watching electric Formula racing. We're here. Like, it's here now.
Oh, you fucked up, man. Oh, that sucks.
So like,
dude, those are sick though.
They're crazy, man.
How much is that worth though?
Well, dude, that's the thing. Formula racing cars, since in the 70s, a Formula One racing car was worth over $500,000
Holy shit.
at that point in time. So when a car pileup would be 3 cars worth of teams, you'd be like $4 million worth of fucking cost by the time you pay for the cars, by the time for the team to rebuild it, for the time for the the guy who died. So yeah, there's just this crazy shit that I'm like, I'm kind of like, oh, I wonder where this shit is at now. Fucking like futuristic e-racing shit to the point where
they look like shit out of Tron.
Yeah, right. And so then it gets into this whole other thing where I started looking into it, where they have different things that they have to now worry about battery life and shit like that. Like if you hammer it too much, now all of a sudden you're going to lose certain battery life. And they have a second car, which is like when they can switch over like once during the race to get like a fresh battery.
Second car?
Yeah.
So they don't replace the battery. They just switch.
Yeah, they just fucking the guy gets out Le Mans style and runs over to the other car as fast as he can.
Just tuck and roll into the next one.
For real, right? So
you know what they should do? They should do like a fucking. They should bring the second one up next to it, and then he like hops over onto it. That'd be sick.
Yeah, it wasn't quite in motion, but it was pretty close. Like he pulls into the pits beside the other one, and like somebody's like fucking there helping him, and he just hops out, gets in the other one, takes off. But it's just like, man, this shit's fucking like the future. Like it's so bizarre looking. Like
where's this in Europe?
This one is in. I don't know where this one was. The E-Prix.
Wait, Marrakesh? Is that what it said?
Maybe, yeah, Marrakesh. So it started out. I remember I think they were saying it started in Dubai. I'm not 100% sure, but it's just been blowing up like crazy, and they actually have a long contract for it. So we're gonna see it grow a lot over the next while.
How new is this?
Like the last few years. Yeah, so like pretty damn new. And so, like I say, man, I was just like, I wonder where this shit's at now. And then I was like, oh, I guess. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I guess it's now gonna make its way to freaking 200 mile an hour fucking electric formula racing cars, like that look like they're from the goddamn future.
Those look like hella fun,
right, dude?
To drive, eh?
Oh man, so we just gotta wait for the next step for when they have. Well, I've actually seen they've done it recently. We even have a place, but they have electric go-kart racing, where it's like formula style go-karts. Yeah.
Shit.
How sick would that be? Because
the
torque curve on electric is so far through the roof compared to like gas powered, meaning like that the get up and go is so much more on an electric car. Like it's just like you step on the thing, you're fucking
like quicker.
Yeah. It has way more fucking pounds
the reaction
per whatever, however they fucking measure torque. But anyways, I didn't realize I still had this in the background. But yeah, I was just like, man, that shit's fucking crazy.
That was dope.
Yeah. I love finding shit that is like, no. You do live in the future. You do.
Dude, like that robot shit I was watching the other day, man. I was like, yo, that's scary.
Insane, man. Yeah, and that was the one with like the robot that's doing backflips off the thing, and like Elon Musk fucking tweeted about that, and he goes fucking like, you think that's scary? Just wait 2-3 years, and we're gonna have to have a strobe light to even see that thing moving.
Oh yeah, you're saying
like,
I don't think it'll be that soon.
Dude, the Boston Dynamics robots were tethered pieces of shit 3 years ago. They're doing backflips without tethers now.
Let's see, like, how current is some shit? Is there like some? Let's see what the newest.
I was looking the shit up the other day. They had one. It's like this weird little fucking 2-legged sperm robot fucking thing, and like
sperm robot.
That's what it looked like, dude. So that's the Atlas doing backflip.
Yeah,
fucking thing. The Spot Mini. So this makes their old dog look like fucking. This one creeps me out, dude. Wait till you see
robot dog.
Wait till you see the fucking moves that this thing makes. Watch this.
Ugh.
Lean forward. Oh, that creeps me out so much. I hate it. So watch this. Now, laser pack.
Fuck?
Weaponized shit. Like that's scary as fuck. Just the way that it like leans.
Yeah.
Was just like that. Nope.
Look at how like fluid its like stroll is. It's not really that robotic.
No, exactly. That's why it creeps me out so much. Because that was such a natural.
Oh,
yeah, the walk away
that's
is pretty
fucked up,
fucked
man.
up too, eh? Like it's at that point now where it went from these, like, so I'm saying, these clunky things of 3-4 years ago to that. This is
what else? Yeah,
the
what else we
fucking
got?
sperm robot thing. This thing's so fucked up.
Cassie. That's what the robot's called?
Yeah.
Oh, sick fucking warehouse.
Little fucking two-legged.
It's like
We've had
with
to
a
upgrade
body,
pretty much
that's
everything from Atreus to get the size down. We've had to build a lithium-ion battery pack. We looked around to have people build it for us, and the two markets for that really exist in electric vehicles and home backup power.
That's not what I want to
And
see.
those are both just way
right,
too
yeah.
large.
Let's see this
for
thing
our
in
applications.
action.
God damn, this video is just a tease.
We did a lot of our own
All right, well, I'm gonna find
robot
this video here.
that has
Chin?
the same capability.
Yeah, let's see this thing.
I just want to see it in fucking moving around and shit.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
There's gotta be.
Oh no,
shit.
that's not that one. I'll find it. But yeah, it's every single time you fucking go look at something new, man. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's just the stuff that's going on when you don't know what's going on, right?
No, exactly, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucked. The
You're
next
like,
10
what?
years are just gonna be so crazy, dude.
That dog thing was. It's kind of like weird to watch, eh?
I know.
Like, ugh.
It's the more humanistic that they
creepy.
get. Like it just. So here's awesome Boston Dynamics robots. This is like the beginning. Oh god.
Like, imagine just walking down the street and that thing turns the corner facing you, walks like up to you. You'd be like, what the fuck?
And these are like the early versions of it too. You can still tell by their stupid fucking feet. I hate it. I love it, but I hate it. Weird jumping robots and shit. Okay, fuck this. Like,
Whoa, does that jump on the roof?
oh yeah, yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
what
yeah.
the fuck is that thing?
They're making all sorts of weird shit, man. Yeah, that jumping fucking robot one.
Do you like sit in that or something? Like, what the hell is
No,
that?
that's supposed to be mobile across like any terrain and shit.
What?
Yeah, and it can jump
Oh my
while
god.
it's moving. Yeah. Oh, jump up and down. What the fuck? That shit.
Is that gonna take off?
No, it does that, which is very anticlimactic.
I thought it was like gonna start hovering. Well, gallops.
32K. Imagine one of those things running at you, fucking Gatling guns
You'd be
hanging
like,
out each
"Ah."
side. Fuck, man.
Jesus.
And this is the shit from like a year or two ago at least.
It's like a fucking.
These videos are old. Yeah, these videos are old, man. Cause you know what? I gotta find the funniest video. This right here. There's a meme going around at the time.
Of one of these. Dude, that looks like two people facing each other.
Just that's exactly what I'm gonna fucking do. Where is it? Oh man, where is it? No, it's gonna be hard to find now. I posted a big dog. Yes.
Is it two people?
Yeah.
That's exactly like what I was like, yo, that looks like, yeah. Beta?
So these guys put this video out at the time, and it actually got shared around by a bunch of people that thought it was real. So like this is just like
that lady's like, what the fuck?
you fucking assholes.
That sound.
And then they bring the guy in to kick it. Like that was what they do in all their tests, right?
I thought that was just a random person. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
No, because they all replicate the original video scene by scene kind of thing, and so in the
Oh shit, eh?
they just get kicked over. Oh my god, that's fucking old. That's so funny though, because you're like, yo, it looks like two dudes. I'm like, that's what these
Yeah,
guys,
and you're like,
these
yo,
guys
just wait.
did that. So fucking funny. But that's like the fucking freaky point right now, man, is we're getting to see all these robots that are just like actually becoming way too humanistic and like getting these really creepy properties to them, because that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to replicate the movements of animals and stuff, and that's what they're studying to get,
and to like
their muscle groups
react like with certain environments,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
real time.
To like what I brought up like a podcast or so ago is like that they now have a robot that sweats to cool down its muscles inside that move its body, like the robots.
What's the sweat then?
It'd probably be like some coolant or some shit. Yeah. So fucked, right?
Dude.
Yeah, damn, we've been on some fucking shit this fucking pod. We're already over fucking 2 hours.
Oh shit, eh?
Fucking
it's almost about time to call it.
Yeah, no doubt. We gotta get some other shit going on today. But
get some fuel.
Yeah.
And then go work on some shit, man.
Word. Fucking hey, well yeah, I guess that's one of those ones where we just like, damn, that's the end of the podcast. We are already here.
Yeah, save some shit for the next one.
Yeah, for sure. Not that we ever have a lack of things to talk about, but I guess just the main thing that I always want to try to push is head on over to our YouTube, or we don't have an actual YouTube link yet, but if you just go to YouTube, check out the Deep Seated podcast, subscribe to us on there, or if you're more of an audio person, we're on iTunes, SoundCloud, all the tings and the stuff.
Bam, bam.
We just want to hang out with you.
Come hang out with us.
Word. All right, fam. Well, there you go. We finished for episode 17. Y'all have a fantastic week.
See you guys. Peace.
Peace.